more than 10 homes.
And we are live.
The parkour god trusted
What's going on
boots to
on this
everyone.
lovely
And for the first
little
time in my life,
Wednesday?
I actually felt like I was worthy of them. That I was worthy of being the parkour champion.
What? This shouldn't be happening.
I thought I had bested the parkour champion, but I was wrong.
I'm just catching the end of this stream. This is what I've pretty much been watching for the past like 2 hours, I would say.
Directly over the void.
Either you go down or we both
A 3-block
go down.
Neo?
This was the end. The parkour champion knew he lost the battle, so he built a jump that would take us both down. And there's nothing I can do to defend myself. I knew deep down that this was most likely my last jump in parkour civilization.
Why would this take them
Dude.
both down?
But this time, I wasn't gonna give up.
He's got to watch
God,
the
if you're
sequel,
watching me,
man.
please, just give me the strength for one last jump. I didn't expect my feet to hit the ground again, but they did. And when I turned around, the parkour champion had fallen. I won. I actually
won.
It's over, right? I'm the new parkour champion. I'm supposed to be the one who can make the rules and save everyone. So how do I do that? But
He did
as I
it.
was standing there, something started to happen. My items in my inventory were gone, and I
What?
got teleported to the parkour temple. When I walked outside, I looked around, and I realized there was nothing above me. And that's when I remember something the parkour master said to me. He told me that the champion is the only one who knows the way up. I turned around and looked at the parkour temple, and where there was nothing
Oh.
before, there was now a way up to get to the top of parkour civilization. That means my journey wasn't done yet.
I mean, that looks
still
hard.
had to make it to the top. Luckily, I'm now considered the best in parkour civilization, so if there's anyone who can make the jumps, it was me. Only one more set of jumps stood between me and the top. I had always dreamed of this day, when I'd look up and I'd see nothing above me. But I never would have imagined what I
Yo,
had to
he
go through
made
to get
it.
here. Every jump I made and every jump I failed all led me to the
Cinema.
make it to the top. of parkour civilization. And now I was here, and there was nothing, just pure emptiness and only the sky. I didn't have any idea of what to do until I saw a structure in the distance. I walked over and I saw blocks I've never seen before in parkour civilization. They were command blocks, and they were placed in front of a throne. I stepped up onto the throne and I got my pair of champion boots. But this time, they weren't someone else's. They were mine. It only makes sense that doing parkour on command blocks gives me the power to make the rules of parkour civilization. But before I start completely changing the entire rules of society, I needed to do something first. Well, I think it's time I give these back.
Society.
I have a feeling you'll probably be needing them.
Efo, you did it. You saved us.
No,
Yes.
I didn't do anything. It was only possible
Oh
because of
no,
you.
what if this guy's evil? What if it's a heel turn?
And that's why I think you should be the champion. I don't know what to do with
What?
parkour civilization, but you are the champion. You know how to fix things. I just don't think I'm ready to be the. Whoa, what are you doing?
Efo, you think all of this was for me to become the champion again? I'm old, and you know parkour civilization better than I ever could.
Well, all right. I'm gonna need your help. With every 4
The
block
Just
twist.
teleports back up. That's so funny.
and blocks, I can change the rules of parkour civilization. And with the help of the old champion, I'm not just gonna make things go back to the way they were. I'm gonna make things better than they ever were. Parkour was never about making or failing a jump. It was about getting up and trying again. The parkour god told
Oh,
me,
it's like Rocky.
as long as you can parkour, there is always a way. And in my parkour civilization, people will always have a chance to try again.
Wow, feels strong.
Damn, that was
man.
it?
Holy.
That was lit. What's going on?
That was crazy. The writing is so good. Chatter's been real quiet. I thought it was great. Peak. He made the jump. He did command block to
Alright.
command block.
I think that's
And
enough.
there's a
I don't
sequel?
think I got anything else worth.
Whoa.
There is a sequel.
It's been an 8-month journey. Holy. Do we hit 1K? I still see 983. Was Cance right?
Yup.
Did we hit it?
Yup. He hit 1K.
Did we
Oh
hit
shit.
it?
Oh shit. Oh shit. No. Motherfucker.
2002. Cance stays on top.
1002, baby. Stamp it, clamp
If
it,
you think about it,
and
it's actually
fucking
Hegelian dialectics.
damp it. I don't know. I couldn't think of the third one.
I don't know what that means, man. Hegel, philosopher?
Good for Stanz. But that is really all that I could give him today. Yup. I figured we could do a little just chatting, then we'll do some Balatro, then maybe we do some Balatro speedrun, dare I say, set seed. Alright, but it looks like, honestly, we just got a new drop from Idol. He makes some fucking goated videos. I think that this might be worth an instant watch, worth an immediate watch. I finally confronted Goth Egg. Are they, like, related? Yeah, I don't care about this. I'm just not interested. Poopy. Let's just go on shorts. Let's see what's happening on shorts.
I do. You do?
Yeah. Who do they mistake you for?
I went to
Shrek?
No.
Shrek? Shrek?
That was really good.
I don't get offended by being called the wrong name.
I do.
You do?
This is how married telepathy works.
Okay.
Sometimes my wife will literally be like, who's that guy, that actor?
I've seen this clip before.
All right, if I'm...
That's
I designed a
just
3D
copyright.
printable king that collapses when someone loses. So once you get checkmated, you can surrender your sword to your opponent.
That sounds annoying as fuck.
I designed a 3D printable
This thing looks annoying as fuck to put back together. Dude.
king that collapses when someone loses. So once you get checkmated, you can surrender your sword to your opponent. So far I've designed this and pawns that turn into queens. What other chess pieces should I do? I designed a 3D printable king that collapses when someone...
Yo, Katie, if you're trying to slide in somebody's DMs, what's your line?
Where are you at?
I'm right here.
Who gave this guy a mic? Say that again?
If you're trying to slide in someone's DMs, what's your line?
Hi.
Hi. That's all you need.
Yo, Katie, if you're trying to slide in somebody's DMs, what's your line?
Where are you at?
What's your line?
Who gave this guy a mic?
Oh.
You speak English?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, Ray, hit him with some Mandarin. Crazy shit. No, go
what?
crazy.
What he just said?
He said,
I think he said...
let me tell you something, right?
I don't think that's what he said.
Oh, Kevin been around the world.
Ni hao, Kylan. I used to watch a cartoon that was... You speak English?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, Ray, hit him with...
Goodbye.
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never, never.
Never?
Well, maybe someday.
When? Tomorrow?
Can you feel the euphoria slip?
Yo. Dude, the cowbell lamp is honestly kind of fire.
Endermen are great at escaping danger, but not if it's surrounded by water. Putting it in an underwater prison like this one, the Enderman will be in constant fear. But if you change one glass for a grass block, the Enderman will eventually pick the block and dig its own grave by letting water in.
Japanese is a kind language because if you forget how to write a kanji, we'll hold your hand and say, it is okay, you can still write in hiragana and everyone will understand. If you forget one character in Chinese, you suddenly
go to school at the University of North Georgia.
Are there black people around there?
Not a...
Does he have Madden 08? Does he have Madden 08? Does he have it? Does he have it? Yeah! Oh, yeah. We love Madden 08.
Do it! Just do it!
I am Madden 08's biggest fan. Bro, I see videos like this all the time. Who is letting these fucking kids record these TikToks in high schools? What is the teacher up to, man? Oh! She did get her... and he's wet, and he's wet. I do want to see more of it.
There was a moment when I looked at my umbrella and asked myself, can I take this apart? So I tried, and I should have expected that. I ended up with a stick that I applied a lot of stuff to, and voila! Sword.
Oh, that's
the full
sick.
video is linked in the description. There was a moment when I looked at my umbrella and asked myself,
Okay, I
can
guess
I
that's every short. We've been to every short. This is why you'll never beat TikTok. You just never will, man. Let's go back.
I miss that old dude, bro.
Ray, shut your...
There was a moment when I looked at...
What's your opinion on this? Let's see. This is Tim Walls handing me a blunt.
That is sick.
You should have done that with JD Vance at the start. What's your opinion on this?
He's out.
Oh shit. Wow, I had some wobbly wobbles there.
Oh.
Looks like Dawn might have crashed. I'm not positive.
I think she
D&D
crashed.
spells name for the wizard who developed.
I think she fucking crashed.
What is my shit? Oh, really? Wait. What's going on here? Oh.
Yo, why did the cameraman do him like that? Why did the cameraman do him dirty? I didn't retain a second.
I
of
met
that one,
my
to be
cousin. We were on a ski trip at the same time.
Shag him?
Place. Well, he's a man as well.
But you never know.
But, yeah,
So that's what stops you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds bad as well. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
I met my cousin.
Dude, are they playing a game? This is honestly incredible. Wow. Dude, the fucking vision. The court vision, the IQ, the reactions, you know, you gotta be in tune with your teammate. That one, easy.
Hey, is there friendly fire in this game?
You know what? I don't really know. I'm kind of new myself. Sorry.
That's fine, I'll just test it myself.
You're gonna what?
Gordon Ramsay's scrambled egg is the way the scrambled egg should be made.
Spatula?
And that's the way that...
Nick, do you even know my last name?
Yes.
What's her last name?
I know it too.
Is it Emily?
Yes. But I don't know it.
Extra.
Okay. My last
Your last name is Chan.
You racist mother. It is not.
Bro, did you see this? You know, I
Oh, the
support
$50
Tim
screen
Walz, 'cause I
savers.
like the legislation he passed as governor. However, I found out actually that he's a soy boy cuck because of this segment.
Timmy was at the Michigan-Minnesota game Saturday and hugged the Gopher mascot like it was his husband returning home from war.
Come on,
Bro,
come
did you see this?
on,
You know,
come
I-
on, man, come on. Come on, bro.
Bro, did you see this?
Oh my gosh. I love him. Dude, I want him. No, stop bite. Stop bite. Do don't bite. Come on.
This kid made a lightweight plane prototype and he's about to show us how it works. And at first it goes extremely slow, but soon it picks up the pace. The way this works is because the contraption weighs only 1.4 grams
This
and has a
one's
0.4 gram
crazy.
motor. But the craziest part about this, the plane flew in the air for a total of 22 minutes and 58 seconds. This kid made a lightweight plane prototype and he's about
22
I
minutes.
love Watch Mojo. No. I'm welcome to Watch Mojo. Yeah. That's me.
Oh, no way! You
Oh, I've seen this clip.
Oh my god!
I've seen this clip.
Intro for us, please. Welcome to Watch Mojo.
No way!
Ah.
So ridiculous. I love Watch Mojo. No. I'm welcome to Watch Mojo. Yeah. That's
This is what happens when two bullets collide in midair. A test
Dude.
team can
All right, what do we think happens, chat? I'm thinking, do they both break?
conducted a live fire experiment where bullets were fired simultaneously using two electromagnetic
That was not
triggers.
simultaneously.
The bullets collided, shattering into countless pieces, and the fragments spread like liquid.
Whoa.
This is what happens when two bullets collide.
You know how hard to be a streamer to not to say the N-word on stream, bro?
Tell him, Ray. Tell him. Tell him, Ray.
Being an Asian
Tell him.
inside black streamer, bro, it's so hard to not to say the N-word, bro. If you're not black, bro, this is the hardest part of all the time, bro. Imagine you say the word, your whole career is gone, bro. And it's a live stream. You cannot delete, you cannot edit. You know how hard.
What the fuck is you doing? What you doing, dickhead? Dickhead? Yeah. 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 Bruh. Yo! fuck is you doing?
Why are they like this?
What you doing,
Does anyone? Why are they like this?
I think we just found the fastest infinite height. All you need to do is just jump on the edge of the tile. It's so easy. I think we just...
I've watched a couple people play this game. One of the streamers that I like, who's just like a smaller guy, I've been watching. I have no idea what's happening in it though, dude.
This snowman is the most diabolical way to give someone cash. It's made of several 3D printed parts. All you do is roll up some bills, stuff them in the hidden compartment, and seal up.
I present to you the Kid Cone. I'm seeking $100,000 for 5% of this company.
Do you have anything better?
What is the total evaluation on that? 5% for 100,000? Is that like a crazy over evaluation? Well, so if it's 5%, it'd be 100,000 divided by 0.05. Okay, well, this just goes to show how much of a fucking nerd I am, that I look up this and it should normally auto go to the calculator. Dude, it sends me to computer parts. It sends me to fucking DigiKey. It sends me to get like fab pieces and shit. All right, maybe if we do it like this. Yeah, I thought it was 20 mil. I just didn't want to make the call and get called an idiot.
The year is
Better to show us today?
Cleaning my sheets does not make me a use to society.
Yes, it is. You're being useful to your household.
Is that a VTuber?
Okay. The society is outside of the house now.
Listen, you need to be a useful member of society, and that includes being useful in your home.
All right, I get it. So what you're saying is Asmongold is not a use to society. Got it. Okay.
What?
Okay. Cleaning my sheets is...
Dude, today, on my lunch break, I watched a fucking 35-minute YouTube video of Asmongold talking about why he is like this. And that shit was very interesting, man. It was very interesting to me. As someone who, I pretty much just know who he is and don't particularly care for him, and that's like as far as it goes, you know? It was, I don't know, dude. Some of the stuff he's saying, I'm just kind of thinking, like, does this guy have antisocial personality disorder, maybe? Like, I don't know. Or he's just got a, like, crazy, like, trauma response to... listen. Dude definitely has had a fucking difficult life. But, hey. I don't know. Why does it do this, man?
Cleaning my sheets does not...
Table 13, the fish is for the gentleman, and the chicken is for the lady.
Got it.
Great. Is that our food? The fish is for the gentleman, and the chicken is for the lady.
I'll be right back, folks.
Well, there's
Table
a
13,
dog.
the fish is for the gentleman, and the chicken is for the lady.
Got it.
God, this shit's ass.
What? Should be more next time, no? I didn't play dirty, it's flip. Nope. Yeah, one more.
I don't identify as a Zoomer, as an O2 baby. I'm a Zillennial. You're born in 2000.
I'm very curious what he's going to say about this. Because we are kind of in a weird spot, man.
2002, you don't identify as a Zoomer? You are. Your username is Minecraft Implosion.
Okay, listen, he does not represent us. He does not represent us. He does not speak for all 2002 motherfuckers, okay? But Minecraft is kind of tight. I did just watch Stanz watch a fucking hour and 49 minute long Minecraft, like, series. It was a TikTok series.
Bro said I didn't have a phone until 4th grade.
I had a phone before that.
I don't identify.
If I wasn't a rapper, I don't feel like I still would listen to Drake for real. A regular street nigga don't give a fuck about how many times you went #1. Like in Atlanta, it's a lot of niggas who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake. Really? Oh God, nigga. Drake and dope turn me to.
I love Future, man. I love Future. That's all I have to say. Oh wow, that's really him reading the board. That's kind of cool. It took him 2 seconds to be like...
In a scientific debate, we know either I'm right and you're...
Ray just said I'm Ray, stop saying that in my chat. You all the way in Taiwan. You have to go to the military. Start your own team up. Get your own little kid to enter the league and face me one-on-one. How about that?
Get your own little kids is crazy. Bro's playing in like the little basketball league.
Whose purse is this? Because there's no girls here.
That's a satchel.
Oh, your purse. Where the is that? First of all, you said the key thing. There's no girls here. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm working and girls are a distraction. No, they not. I know they're not because I'm looking for the bros.
Yo.
What? Whose purse is this? Because there's no girls
That's kind of tight.
Turned down $50 million 4 times.
I've been real.
4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
Bro.
And I need you.
Luckily, this game is quite popular in Japan, so we should find a game pretty quickly.
Why?
Why?
Is it popular in Japan?
Yeah, I don't know. People like it, bro.
Oh, is it hentai, bro?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's normally a good reason in Japan.
That was my first thought.
Luckily, this game is...
Oh, my oxygen monoxide. We actually hit 150.
That's asparagus.
You can have it.
How long has it been here?
Like 2 weeks, maybe more. Bro, she's so grody.
Which one are you?
I'm the Assyrian.
Wait, you're Syrian?
I'm Assyrian, not Syrian. Don't do that.
He's
it's
one of
Indian,
them?
Babylonian. We don't even have a country anymore. We kind of dispersed.
Where would your family be?
Iraq.
Oh, shit. I gotta wrap this up. Which one are you?
Bro. Yeah, alright, I think now, why is RuneScape so popular?
The year is 2005, the month February. The world is rocking out to 50 Cent's candy shop. George W. Bush is just starting his second term after defeating every terrorist in hand-to-hand combat. But more importantly, it's my birthday. And like many 10-year-old boys on their birthdays, I was having a sleepover with my best friends. My dad gave us his laptop so we could play Flash games on Newgrounds and addict.
This is gonna be him finding it, isn't it? This is gonna be him finding RuneScape.
In games like The Impossible Quiz and Kiss Britney Spears by Bobby. That night, we also went to
Who's Bobby?
A website that, among its sea of half-baked games, was a small box promoting something called RuneScape. So we clicked the link, created an account, and started playing. Little did I know that the next 2 decades of my life would be defined in large part by this little browser-based MMORPG.
Not mine. Not me. Couldn't be me, personally. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love it a lot. I love it. But not that fucking much, man.
And despite years of amazing games coming out that pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible graphically or through storytelling, I keep coming back to this game that, in the year of our Lord 2024, looks like this.
And I love it for it. Okay? People don't realize that graphics only matter if you're a fucking dipshit, okay? I don't know if I'm hating too hard by saying this, but I just think that there are a lot of games that have been super popular, and if you go on the list of like best selling games ever, you're gonna see fucking Minecraft, you're gonna see fucking Tetris, and man, I mean, maybe one day you'll see old school RuneScape, but I don't think that the sales work the same way because it's a live service game and whatnot. Either way, I mean, graphics can be a limiting factor. If you look at something like Dwarf Fortress, that whole game is predicated on that idea. And, you know, it's hard to get into, it's incomprehensible, but fuck, man, is that not a deep game? I mean, it's honestly not even a game. It's more of like a simulator. But I think if we ignore the graphics, or honestly, if we keep certain systems simple, it can be fun games. I'm not a big fan of taking systems in games and then like paring them down. Todd Howard is probably the biggest example of this that I can think of. If you look at the systems in Morrowind, the systems in Oblivion, and the systems in Skyrim, and then honestly you can do the same thing with Fallout, That's his MO. He is paring down. He's cutting branches off of the tree being the gameplay map. You know, the possible gameplay loops that your game could have, different options, variation. You got blunt weapons, you got warhammers, you got fucking blades, you got different kinds of blades, you got short blade, long blade. Now we got blade and blunt. Okay, now we have basically heavy and light, essentially. I mean, we can pretend it's one-handed and two-handed. That is a gameplay definition for, these are your heavy weapons, these are your light weapons. They don't make that same distinction for the armor, but it's the same distinction. And I think, like, if the fundamental loop of the game was built to be simple, it can be amazing, right? I love Balatro. We're going to be playing Balatro later on in the stream. And it's a very simple game functionally. RuneScape is a very simple game functionally. But they do what they do really, really well, and they're focused on, like, the gameplay experience, and that's why people keep coming back to these games. And it's also why I think if you want to play a game with great graphics, and graphics are the reason you want to play a game, you're kind of fucking stupid, because you could just go outside or watch a movie. I feel this way about fantasy as well, just fantasy in general, because a lot of fantasy is kind of just shittier than the real world. That's why I like One Piece, because it feels hyper realistic. That's what fantasy is supposed to feel like, you know? It has fantastical elements that don't quite make sense, that add to the story. You know, it's a better story for it. But anyway,
game that in the year of our Lord 2024 looks like this. And I'm not alone. This game is more popular than it's ever been. New content is coming out at a faster pace than it ever has.
And the main game is dying, which is the even crazier part. That people love the way that this game is run. They love the voting system so much that the main game is having trouble competing with it. I stopped playing the main game in probably 2011, maybe? And this fucking game sucked me back in. I pay for more than one membership because I'm cringe.
And all I can think to myself as I partake in it is, why?
I have asked this question so much. The problem is, it's very hard to explain this in a way that people who haven't played RuneScape will have any idea what the fuck you're even talking about. I have tried explaining it to my girlfriend, and it's just, they don't get it. It's so far off the beaten path that your average Joe who's not a gamer is not going to be able to understand what the fuck this is. And it makes it harder when they're the people making these videos are people with super intimate knowledge of the game that love the game and love certain things about it. It makes it very hard to actually talk about it in a way that will make sense to outsiders because we have such an intimate knowledge of it.
Seriously, why is a game that is...
Is he wearing green pants, bro? What is that? Why are his pants green, man? Why did he pulled up with the green screen chroma key to match the pants fucking... Oh my god.
Itself is a re-release of a game that is 17 years old, not only surviving, but thriving. If you just take a surface look at this game, you're probably just gonna be more confused unless you've played it before.
Yup.
And if you have played it before, you might still be really confused. Like,
Many people
what do people
also
see
have
in
that
this?
experience.
This is a question that's been plaguing my mind and the mind of my lovely Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, by the way, guys. You're seriously so awesome. And if you want to support, you can do so for as little as $1 a month. At the link in the description. Whoa. With old school RuneScape, obviously the graphics are dated. It doesn't take a PhD in psychology to see that. Is that the right PhD? I don't know. But even when it comes to character progression, even the littlest things will take hours, and some of the longer grinds can take days, and with a bit of bad luck, even months of just doing the same content over and over and over again. But the player...
That part, people aren't even ready to comprehend when they get into the game. and by the time they understand what they've gotten themselves in for, it's too deep, man. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen.
Player count keeps going up. Look how high up I am. There's so much room below me because the player count is so high, and I'm one of those players. What's wrong with me? I think it only gets crazier when you look at the rest of the MMORPG industry, which are supposed to be old school RuneScape's competitors. Most of these games are fast-paced, action-packed.
Yeah, I can't speak very much for other MMOs, especially like modern ones, you know, Final Fantasies and the WoWs. But they're a lot more of a traditional gaming experience. I mean, I don't know. As someone who can understand what is happening in old school RuneScape, I can't fucking look at WoW ability bar and be like, oh, this is a thing that makes sense. Like, I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't even do Dota. I'm too stupid for that.
Packed games that bring at least something from mainstream AAA titles to the table. Final Fantasy XIV has one of the best stories of any MMORPG, and it's a major reason players keep coming back to it. World of Warcraft has the smoothest combat system and a challenging but rewarding endgame that other MMOs have tried to emulate for decades. New World exists, I think, but old school RuneScape sits in its own little niche, using the same basic systems it released with back in 2001. You point, click, and wait. There's no other abilities or hotbars. You aren't doing thousands of damage with crazy finishing moves. You just chop a tree and wait. Or you fish for sharks and wait. Or you cook a monster and wait. I mean, you would have to be at least a little crazy.
But that's what's good about it. That's what's good about it. That's why the game's good, man. It's different. It makes you wait. Every little number has to go up by a tiny little amount, you know? It's going up by maximum 10,000, and that's like a quest reward, you know? And to get to max level in any of these skills is 13 million. 13 million. So it is a fucking slow-paced grind, but it's better for it, and it's better for the way it does it, the way it holds back, makes you wait.
Crazy to
edges you.
Bruh. Make a game like this today. But that's exactly what makes it so special. There's nothing like it today. Old school RuneScape has, since its inception originally in 2001, basically done the opposite of what someone would think an MMO should do. Wait, hold on. Are you even listening to what I'm saying right now?
No.
Eyes up here, buddy.
I have brain rot.
I see. You're distracted by my awesome shirt. That makes sense, because it's from today's sleeve guy. Listen to I find the logo. Description get for a little bit, okay? When you launch the game, you're placed in a very hand-holdy tutorial that
Don't ask me why I'm able to do that and how I can just cut through an ad right to the end. I always know when it's an ad, and I always know where they're going to end. I just am really good at... Oh, it's actually marked in the chapter. I didn't realize. Well, I didn't see it. I'm just like a beast, but...
teaches some of the very basic mechanics of the game. You learn how to run, and mine, and cook food, and fight until you're eventually teleported to the main city of Lumbridge, and that's it. Go forth and create your own adventure or something, I don't know. In other games, you'd usually be given a quest to go speak to some other NPC who will immediately give you another quest, or you just spawn next to a quest giver and go from there. But in this game, you're not given any of that. Sure, not far from you are several easy quests that'll get you started, but they don't lead you anywhere new or force you to train skills up. In every sense, you are left to your own devices to discover the world around you in your own way. And let's be clear, this should suck. In any MMO...
It kind of does. You know, it depends on the type of person you are. I could understand why you wouldn't want to do that.
RPG, if you aren't sufficiently motivated by your next immediate goal or working towards some longer-term milestone, you're gonna get bored and quit. And when I asked people on Twitter who never...
I saw this tweet. I don't think I replied to it, but I definitely saw it, and I was like, huh, I wonder what that's for. Now I know what it's for.
Played RuneScape back in the day for their thoughts on old school RuneScape, I saw a lot of this exact sentiment. Like Twinleaf, who said he had no idea where to go or what to do, so he just gave up. Or Sawman UK, who said, hold on, let me try and do a good British accent here.
I tried to play it last year and again this year and didn't get past the hour mark. Hope that helps.
But I think old school RuneScape
Bro,
can get away
did
with
he-
this for
what?
one major reason. It's really damn simple. Don't get me wrong, RuneScape's an extremely deep game, but on the surface, it's about as simple as it looks. You want to get some woodcutting levels? Chop literally like any tree. Just go ahead, click, and just wait. And
But
the first
why?
few quests will come up.
Most people's question is why. That's the thing. You know, you're putting the cart before the horse. It's the Minecraft problem. I remember when Minecraft first came out, people were like, "But what's like? How do you win?" And I was like, "You build cool shit, man. It's like fucking Legos." This is more like it's like an RPG flavored sandbox.
Across like Cook's Assistant are really, really simple. Everything you need to complete them is within a 30-second walk of the starting area. So it doesn't get any easier than this. But again, that's the strength of the game. Old School RuneScape presents you and its new players with an entire sandbox in a massive world and doesn't give you any other direction than just play. But since it's so simple to figure out how to do the most basic actions in the game, that actually works to its benefit. Once you take those first few steps out into the world, you're off, and there's nothing in your way. Eventually the game does get more complicated. Like, the quests you'll find will have certain prerequisites, like maybe you need a certain thieving level before you can start it, or even you have to have completed enough quests beforehand to start this quest. But by that
And that requirement's actually especially cool because it's not a hard, you got to do this quest. No, it's like a you have to do quests. You know, we have these points, and you just got to get enough points, man. You haven't put it in the rep. We don't know you. It's the same thing they do in Morrowind, and people fucking love that. Or at least they love it there.
At that point, you've already learned what you need to figure out how to make that progress. And if you haven't, then you've already probably learned where to look to find out. Fights with monsters will evolve from simple click and wait battles to encounters where you need to have an inventory full of food, better gear, and maybe even higher stats to unlock things like protection prayers. The game never tells you to get 43 prayers so you can block all incoming melee damage, or to get 30 defense so you can wear adamant armor. It doesn't have to. The early game is essentially its own tutorial because you'll more than likely be able to figure out everything you need to for yourself while staying completely immersed. Hell, the entire game is basically one long tutorial disguised as an MMORPG. You don't even realize it as it's happening, but
Yeah, that's why the talent gap between like your first character and your second character is just so different, you know? Like, you go into any piece of content and it's just a learning experience. That's all it is. It's basically just a huge learning check. Can you learn on the fly? Can you learn if you got a video pulled up? You know, whatever your method is, RuneScape will always give you a new thing, and you got to do it slightly differently. And eventually, you know, maybe people have the skills now that the guys who play this game are fucking 35. We can develop and grow and see the map as grid, and we're playing a rhythm game, and we can feel the ticks in our fucking heart. You know, we're a human metronome and shit. But for the most part, on your first go around, you're not going to get to that point. I don't even know if the average person will ever get to that point. I probably won't.
you're learning how this game and how this world works. By the time you've reached the mid-game, when you've progressed a lot of your individual skills and started taking on more difficult quests, you'll be introduced to the next way Old School RuneScape encourages you to lose yourself in the game. You'll get sidetracked. You might get sidetracked by something simple, like maybe you want to kill lizardmen for your Slayer task, but those very lizardmen drop a clue scroll. A clue scroll is basically a treasure map that takes you through a series of riddles until you find the treasure. The answers to the riddle could be simple, like you have to talk to an NPC back in Lumbridge where you started, or maybe you have to dig along the bank of a river. But some of these clues will have certain requirements to be completed, like this one that requires you to perform an emote in the fishing.
How does he tie this back into the game? To like why people play it.
And that's when you realize that to get in the fishing guild, you need 68 fishing. And you never trained your fishing because fishing is for nerds, and you're not a nerd. You're a normal person who watches video essays about a point-and-click MMORPG.
Yeah, I am. I am a fucking nerd.
But if you want to complete this clue scroll, it's time to get catching. Maybe you decide it's time to look up how to train fishing efficiently. I mean, after all, you want this done as quickly as possible to get back to your Slayer task. And maybe you find a guide that recommends wearing the Angler set, which is gear that boosts your fishing XP by a marginal amount. That's bad advice, but you know, maybe it's out there. So eventually you find yourself in the fishing trawler minigame.
Yeah, I'm skilling outfit's biggest fucking hater. Me personally, I am skilling outfit's biggest hater, and I'll tell you why. I hate skilling outfits because they're kind of annoying to get. I feel like a chump because I don't want to get them, so I don't have them. And you're getting yourself maximum, you're saving, I think it's like 300,000 XP over the course of your whole training. I'll do the extra 2 hours of fucking fishing if it means I don't have to do this yee ass mini game.
So that you can start working on the Angler set, so that you can start working on getting 68 fishing, so that you can get into the fishing guild, so you can continue doing this clue scroll.
Okay, but that's how he ties it back in. That is something that is true, but I don't know if people who don't play this game will understand what he's talking about. There's a really good video. I forget the name of it, but it's a 3-hour-long fucking YouTube essay about RuneScape, and I think it's titled something similar to this. It is basically like a PowerPoint presentation, but one thing the guy goes into that I noticed while playing the game, but I didn't really notice it when I didn't really think about it until I watched the video. That was the fractal nature of everything in RuneScape. It's essentially a constant spiral of just more and more and more and more stuff. And things, it looks like a fractal, you know? Things branch out onto other things. Here, wait. You look at a fractal, and you can just keep zooming in more and more and more, and you will always go deeper, you know? Every little one of these things, you can zoom in on it, and it'll have a whole branch of its own like that. They all do. This is how RuneScape works. You want to do something, and then you have to, you know, learn another skill to figure that out, and then you have to learn another skill to figure that out, and then you have to level this to do that, and you got to get a clue scroll, and you got to do this quest so that you can get the step for the clue scroll, and you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper into the spiral. And that's basically the conceit of the game, is you have goals over here, and you have ways to complete them over here. But it is not a linear progression system. It is in the physical sense that your level, well, actually it's an exponential progression system in your leveling sense, because levels double every 7 levels, which is fucking absurd. The amount of XP you need to get to the next level doubles every 7 levels. But in terms of gameplay and, like, you know, the content of the game that you need to be exploring, it is all so perfectly interlinked in a way that you can do pretty much anything in the game at any given time, and you will get some benefit from it that will probably help you out in the future. Now, not everything does, and there's more efficient ways to do things, but if you play Efficiency-scape, you're a fucking bigger dork than me. And I'm sitting behind a green screen, streaming to fucking 2 viewers. And those 2 viewers are my fucking alt and my phone. Bruh. Don't.
Do you even remember why you're doing this clue scroll? But after all that sidetracking...
Yeah, let's go back just to give you the context of why he's saying it in the video.
...as possible to get back to your Slayer task. And maybe you find a guide that recommends wearing the Angler set, which is gear that boosts your fishing XP by a marginal amount. That's bad advice, but, you know, maybe it's out there. So eventually you find yourself in the fishing trawler minigame, so that you can start working on the Angler set, so that you can start working on getting 68 fishing, so that you can get into the fishing guild, so you can continue doing this clue scroll. Do you even remember why you're doing this clue scroll? But after all that sidetracking, you finally get your casket, which is basically a reward filled with goodies. It's a lot like a present if you think about it. A birthday present.
Oh.
Kind of like how my birthday is on February 22nd, if you want to mark it on your calendar or something.
Sorry, bro, my birthday's before yours.
This is an extremely tame example of sidetracking I described, by the way. It can and does get much deeper than this.
Yeah. it'll get pretty deep. I think though it kind of falls off that aspect of the game once you do your quest cape, because it's more of like a early mid game kind of effect. Once you have established ways to train and you know you've exhausted all like the easy quests you could do to get your XP up for free, you're kind of like whatever.
Anyone who has played RuneScape for any amount of time will attest to it. But this sidetracking all over the world and through multiple goals is just part of how the game keeps you hooked. You'll be working towards one of your long-term goals, but along the way, dozens of short-term goals will pop up naturally that will keep you.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect, that all these little steps are kind of giving you little sub-goals to do, which is probably the only way, like that's the most rewarding way to accomplish things, at least in my opinion. I mean, look, that's how school's set up, and I think school is set up in a pretty rewarding way. You know, there are flaws, but assignments are a little bit, and then exams are like your big checks, and then fucking your grades are like the final checks, and those are all little sub breakdowns of the semester, and then the semesters are breakdowns of the whole degree.
You going, and most importantly, show you parts of the world you maybe hadn't been to before, because the world is fucking huge.
I think claims of RuneScape's size are overstated. It's not that big. It is a lot bigger than when you played as a kid, if you played back then, but it's not like that big. It's pretty fucking big. It's not Burnout Paradise or whatever, that game, the racing game.
Like, seriously, look at all of this. It's insane.
It's pretty big.
And the worst part is that as I'm filming this, it's about to get bigger. So that's there you go. Even if you take away the fact that the whole time you're progressing your character numerically, you're also discovering a world and everything it has to offer as you get stronger. Like Wrinkle Lover says, this all adds up to make progression feel meaningful. And most importantly, it doesn't feel forced, because it's not. You're just following the flow of the game. This isn't only true for new players. Veteran players are constantly discovering new things about this game we've been playing for 2 decades for some of us.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of in favor of private servers, is I think if we can take RuneScape and turn it into like a platform like Roblox, you know, it would be better for it. Maybe the main game would be hurt a little bit, but the company would probably make more money. The game as a whole would be bigger, I think, and people would be more creative.
Anyone who's watched the Swampletics series knows how many insane discoveries Settled makes throughout the course of that journey. Yeah, it comes as a result of some crazy self-restrictions he put on himself, but still, it just shows how deep this all is.
That's the other thing. For YouTubers like Settled, private servers take self-imposed restriction and turn it into a playable thing that actually has stakes. Instead of it being essentially a role play for the sake of the YouTube video, it becomes real. You know, you went in the fucking code of the game and you changed the rules so you can't leave Mauritania or whatever.
And it's just so awesome that we can still be learning something new about a game that came out years and years and years ago. Like I've said multiple times already, this game is so simple, and that's why it gets away with being able to give you all of this right from the start and just let you run through it so you can learn as you go. It's a beautiful hands-off approach to getting players in the game that really is a relic of a past era, something I don't think we see very much at all anymore. If you look at games like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, you'll almost always have a quest telling you exactly where to go, or even these markers on the ground that will tell you where to walk to get where you need to go.
Yeah, RuneScape don't do that. RuneScape don't teach you anything. RuneScape just gives you situations and you gotta react.
They will hold your hand the whole way through. Even RuneScape 3, the modern version of this ancient game, does this. Once you finish the tutorial, there are markers everywhere that will teach you how to train all sorts of skills, how to do combat.
I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. I installed RuneScape 3. I paid for an account already, so I have membership. I played for probably 25 minutes, and then I was like, nah, I'd rather just be on my old school account.
And more. The devs are so worried about you getting lost that there's an obscene amount of guardrails around the world. Maybe that's the right move for those games. I mean, they are much more complicated right out the gate than old school RuneScape is. That's obvious. But for old school RuneScape, it just makes sense to be thrown into the world. It just feels right. Like I said before, there's nothing in your way of just starting your journey, whatever that journey may end up being. But one thing that journey will definitely be is really end up being nothing in your way of just starting your journey, whatever that journey may end up being. But one thing that journey will definitely...
Bro. What? Why does he got it on like that? And why does he have more green clothes fucking right next to him, man? What is this for later on in the video?
Is really long. If you didn't get bored in the first hour of playing, which, I mean, a lot of people do, then you'll inevitably encounter what old school RuneScape is truly known for. Grinds. If you don't know what grinds are, they're basically these things that skateboarders do where they like hop up on a rail and then they like skate down it, and it's worth a lot of points in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 if you do some combos off of it. So that's a little skateboard humor for you, just to lighten the mood. Speaking of skateboards, have you subscribed yet? Anyway, grinding is core to old school RuneScape's identity. It's the process of getting from where you are.
What did that have to do with skateboards, man? Horrible segue. Also, he's getting his ass cooked by Jad. Someone had to say it, man. He's getting his ass pounded by Zulrah. I don't know is it Jad phase?
Now to whatever goal you've set out for.
It is Jad phase. Okay, maybe that's why I thought it. Perfect recovery.
From 50 to 70 fire making, or getting 99 smithing, the maximum level, because you're a bit of a freak. It can even be the process of getting a drop from a monster, like the coveted Tanzanite Fang from Zulrah, which has a 1 in 12 chance of dropping on any given kill. These grinds could range from taking a few hours to multiple weeks, and for the largest goals in the game, like maxing all of your skills,
it'll take you about as long as it would take you to get a fucking bachelor's degree to max. Maybe longer.
It can take years, but RuneScape players, me included, love it.
Our plans are measured in centuries, alright? Motherfuckers will be playing this game probably in the retirement home, okay? Motherfuckers will be playing this game in the grave.
And to be fair, what's not to love about getting something like 99 agility? You get to run on this sick-ass rooftop in a town called
Alright, listen. Agility is ass. But it does feel pretty good to be chilling and watching a show with my girlfriend and also playing RuneScape on my phone, just running laps, you know, just getting some XP in. It makes me feel better about watching a show. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just that cooked. Like, I'm that much of like a fucking brain rot zoomer. Maybe like that's just the reality, you know. I'm looking at fucking 2 screens right now, and I'm talking about buying more monitors. So I very well could be the brain rot king.
And when you finish a lap on it, you get all of this sweet XP.
It's Ardoin.
And then you get to do it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, did you see that number? That was 625 XP, and that's the XP drop he gets for completing the whole lap, which is the biggest one. He gets like 10 or 15 for each little obstacle, and he needs 13 million to not have to do this anymore.
And again, and again.
What do you get from it? You get a cape that doesn't do anything, and I think that's about it. Yeah, it doesn't really even help you out in the game that much. It's pretty marginal.
And again, and again, and again, and again. By the way, you unlock this course at level 90. Do you want to know how many times you have to do a lap on it to get to 99?
I'm going to say somewhere in the 10,000s. Maybe 22,000?
9,600.
I was way fucking over 9,000.
195 laps.
Okay.
That's how many times you have to do it to reach the maximum level. Does that sound crazy? It should, but for some people, even after they hit the maximum level, they keep going because they want to reach the maximum experience.
Yeah, dude, some motherfuckers are that crazy. They want to tap it out. They want to get it, I think it's 200 mil. The 99, you're done at 13. You're done at 13 mil. It stops counting at 200. So if you want to pure max, like truly max, it's 200 mil XP. This method, I think the best methods will probably get you 100, 200,000 XP an hour. So think about how many hours that is that you have to be playing. And these methods, depending on the method, you know, it could be slower than that, and it could require less attention than like you fucking nerd necking or whatever. But that'll make it slower. That'll make it take longer.
200.
It's a 200 mil. It's a long grind. 200
million. That means they have to do this an additional 235,000 times.
And people have. I think I actually in college did a data visualization project on RuneScape stats. I don't think I'd be able to find it. I also don't think I could show it because of like academic integrity shit. But I did it, and I compared the amount of players to the amount at 99 to the amount of max. And it's like, depending on the skill, I mean, I think cooking is the highest 99. Oh, and I compared the percentages to the active players. So I had the numbers, and I had like this percentage of the active player base has 99. It was a little bit over counted just because of the way that I did it. But we were at, I think, 10,000 people maybe that have done that. So it's a lot of people actually that have spent hours of their lives running 235,770 laps on the Ardoin rooftop.
All I'm saying is we shouldn't be surprised that the guy who's gotten 200 million agility 6 times is mentally ill.
I didn't know there was a dude who did it 6 fucking times.
This is an extreme example, but it is truly an aspect of the game that most players would never want to see changed. For them, it's core to the game.
And there's a big, I suffered, so you gotta suffer. You know, it's almost like hazing. They removed something from the game a while ago. It was called Favor. And people were pissed about it, man, because, you know, I had to grind this Favor out. You have to do it to get your quest cape, and that's a pretty, like, I would say it's a staple accomplishment. Most people are striving for it. It's pretty reachable. I have a quest cape. I wouldn't say it was that hard. But, man.
Like somewhat recently, one of the most important items, the Dragon Warhammer, had its drop rate changed from 1.
And people were pissed about this. People didn't like that. And now people are mad that the economy's changing and people want to use other weapons and shit too.
1 in 5,000 to 1 in 3,000. This is obviously a big change, making it almost twice as likely to drop, but also keeps it pretty rare. This change, though, was extremely controversial. It was so controversial that when I tweeted in support of it, I got called the R slur. Rip.
Yeah, people are very mad, and I think there's a lot of animosity towards the Iron Man. I'm more of a main guy, you know, it's just more fun for me. But the Iron Men do a lot of bitching about the drop rates because they need the drops from the drop rates. So, you know, if you're an endgame Iron Man, you're sitting there fucking, you know, you're doing the same thing as the endgame mains, except they get money and can use all the good weapons whenever they want, and you are just waiting for your T-bow still.
Repeatedly. To be fair, that was on Twitter, but
that's honestly one of the biggest things that I see as like the reason that people will de-iron. They reach a point where they know the content that they have to do and they've played it a lot and they aren't having fun, or like they'll be trying to go for Jadhelm, you know, they'll be trying to go for GM, and they'll just be like, why, like, I can do this now and buy the items I need off the GE and then grind for the RNG I need to get the speed tasks or whatever. Why would I make this take longer by then throwing more RNG in front of it so that I can guarantee I get, like, the people doing this need the best drops in the game. But they're also really passionate about the game, so they're very vocal.
sentiment of a lot of players is still that these long grinds should be left the way they are. And that might sound weird to people who are outside the game. I mean, the grindiness of RuneScape is often cited as a big turnoff to the game. But honestly, I think I get it. There's the obvious fact that a long grind means a big payoff. When you invest a lot of time into something and you finally achieve that goal, whether it's a drop or just an amount of XP, you've earned it. And feeling like you earned something feels good. I have gone many times over the drop rate several times in this game, and the excitement about finally seeing a drop...
Dude, he's playing chiptune Boulevard of Broken Dreams. That's a fucking deep cut, bro. Chiptune Boulevard of Broken Dreams, barely audible in the background of the YouTube video.
Amount of XP, you've earned it. And feeling like you earned something feels good. I have gone many times over the drop rate several times in this game, and the excitement about finally seeing a drop that I've waited so long for is unmatched.
I don't know if that feels better than spooning the fuck out of a drop that you really want. Like, getting one after you go double, I think feels worse than getting one when you're like halfway to the drop rate or whatever. If you spoon it too early, then it like is ass. But there's a sweet spot, you know?
But I think there's something else to these grinds too. When I look at what newer players told me they liked about the game, it lined up with what I and a lot.
Also, the fact that it's a great second monitor game where you can just watch something on the side or literally play another game while doing stuff on RuneScape. I do that all the time. Got turned onto it by some of the PoE community streamers, Pox, Zazarian, I don't know them, and fell in love instantly. As a big ARPG fan, it's the perfect game to play during lulls in seasons or even on a second monitor if AFK skilling. Number go up. Number go up it's now been cited in the video. We love Number Go Up here. We're Number Go Up's biggest fan. If you're watching the video, please drop a like, please subscribe, come over and follow me on Twitch so I can see Number Go Up and I can feel better. Stayed for the incredible depth, fantastic quests, and world. Wider range of activities, from active through low attention to fully AFK. So much content to do. It's a perfect forever game for me. And that's the other thing. This game is a forever game. It is an uncompletable game. But I think for most of us, that is a thing that they like about it, you know? I like that there isn't someone out there who's completed the collection log. And the people that are within 10 slots of it are, you know, still hundreds of hours away. I like it, maybe thousands of hours away. But I like it for that reason. It's not a game that's meant to be completed. It is a game that is meant to be experienced. And I think some game devs would rather make content that you have to play. You know, if they're going to make a game, everything that they made, that they spent time and effort on, you have to experience. RuneScape is the opposite. You can play whatever parts of it you want, and you can ignore everything else. If you just want to do AFK second monitor activities and you never want to engage with combat, you never want to do anything like that, you can literally sit at shooting stars for 100 hours. You can get the gems from shooting stars. If you want to just flip, if you want to use this game as a stock market simulator, you might need some intimate knowledge of the game in order to do that, but you can play it in that way and never do anything else. They don't need you to experience everything in the game. And I think that that's a really, really, really big benefit.
A lot of other veterans like about it, whether we realize it or not. RuneScape is a comfort game. You can pop open a Netflix show or a YouTube series on one monitor while you cut trees or kill a boss or do some quests in RuneScape. Maybe you could watch some anime like Oraimo with episode 1 called My Little Sister Can't Be My Love, or episode 3 called...
Okay, wait. Listen, I have it on the Steam Deck. You probably can't see it because it's green. Yeah, I have it on the Steam Deck. I didn't put that in there. That was Idle. He added his own. He added his own to the video.
My little sister can't be this cute. Or episode 6, my childhood friend can't be this cute. Okay, I guess that one's a pretty normal title. Either way,
Oh, yeah,
most
that
of
one's
the
honestly
grinds in
fine. I
this
didn't even
game
think
can
about
be
it.
really relaxing and pretty passive, allowing you to get the joy of progressing while not having to pour.
It's also crazy to razz anime in a fucking 22-minute long RuneScape think piece. You're really gonna come after anime? I'm sure he probably likes anime himself, but like, come on, you're punching up. If we're being honest, punching from the RuneScape people shitting on the anime community is fucking. We're punching up. You gotta do it monkey style, man. You gotta shit in your hand and fling it at them, cause we're below them for sure, man. For sure.
All of your focus into the game. Sure, other MMORPGs have moments like this. Fishing in World of Warcraft, for example, is a nice bit of downtime, but it's much more central to old school RuneScape. It almost paradoxically makes this high investment game really casual friendly. But as you continue working on your character in these simple, pretty passive ways, you'll unlock the ability to do much more active content that does require your full attention and can really force you to put your skills to the test. It might be getting your first fire cape, a rite of passage for any new RuneScape player, or
so good, man. Getting your fire cape feels fucking amazing.
down the road, it might be learning how to 6-0 range bandos on your Iron
I can't
Man,
do
which
that.
requires
I don't know how to
insane
do
timing
that.
and skill, which is why I'm so good at. Oops, I'm dead. Let's
Yeah, at least he can't do it either.
just be clear that I did get a kill right after I filmed this clip. There's the kill. So any haters, I don't want to hear it.
Okay, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. My apologies.
This game provides you the ability to balance how you want to play it. You can take it as easy as you want, or you can go full focus and squeeze out every bit of efficiency there is, not just with boss content, but even with skilling content. You play how you want because this game is a comfort game, and like I said at the beginning, there's no other game like it. Every MMORPG has its grinds and its warts, but none of them embrace those aspects like old school RuneScape does. No other game would keep the graphics it had in 2007 for the next decade of its existence while things constantly get updated around it.
Except for Minecraft, which will do that. Minecraft's graphics will probably look like that forever. I know that they've been updated slightly, I know, but it will be a block game forever.
No other community would make sure the sound that nail beasts make stays exactly the same, even though it's literally ear-piercing. Jesus, God. God. No other game would do those things. But that's the last thing that makes this game so special. Its identity, and the ridiculous commitment the developers and community have to it. Old School RuneScape was released on February 22nd, 2013, otherwise known as my birthday. That's weird. Is that the third time I've mentioned my birthday in this video?
So that was foreshadowing.
Crazy. It almost feels like you should write it down or something just so you don't forget. The game was spun up from a backup Jagex headline round of RuneScape back in August 2007, and after a poll that received honestly fewer votes than I remember, Jagex agreed to release Old School RuneScape servers. But what's interesting is why people wanted to go back to the way things were in 2007.
It's because they hated RuneScape 3. Because it's ass.
Bruh. Sure, nostalgia had a part to play in it. That's been talked about enough for one lifetime. But the much more compelling reason, in my opinion, for these old school servers was due to what was going on in RuneScape, which at the time was the only version of RuneScape there was. In the years since 2007, RuneScape received tons of new updates, like 2 new skills, summoning and dungeoneering, a minigame called Mobilizing Armies that was so bad it was eventually removed, and a slew of new content like distractions and diversions, penguin hunting, and more that was meant to be completed on a daily and weekly basis.
Yeah, that's a big thing the OSRS community fucking hates. Is daily content. Any sort of gamification that takes things too far. They don't like, they hate MTX, especially microtransactions. They fucking hate that. That is most people's who played RuneScape 3 and committed to it for a long time. Most people say that that is what got them to stop, is that the microtransactions got so bad and they would invalidate people's drops. Or not drops. They would invalidate people's I'm tripping, man. They would invalidate people's grinds.
Not all of these additions were strictly bad, but they also didn't necessarily feel like RuneScape to a large portion of the player base. And that's because Jagex was doing what they could to modernize the game. These modernization efforts accumulated in what was one of the most infamous updates in MMO history.
EOC.
The evolution of combat.
Yup. EOC.
The evolution of combat was a total revamp of the extremely simple RuneScape combat system.
You see it down there? I don't know what that is. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. I don't want to learn how it works, okay? Fuck off. I want to play rock, paper, scissors with a guy in Venezuela while playing a rhythm game. That's what I want.
Changed how monsters worked, added abilities and a hotbar to characters, and for many players, marked the end of their personal journeys on RuneScape. That includes me. From what I've heard, the evolution of combat in a vacuum isn't bad, especially after it was refined into what it is today. It makes combat more active and engaging, even for more low-level encounters. But it undoubtedly changed RuneScape at such a fundamental level that it was no longer RuneScape.
The crazy thing, though, this is not the first time the RuneScape devs did this. The RuneScape devs did this back in fucking the switch from Classic to RS2. But it went over a lot better from Classic to RS2. I don't know why. I'm not educated enough to know why.
It played like a worse version of the dozens of other MMORPGs on the market. So yes, the calls by the community for old school RuneScape servers was them asking to go back in part due to nostalgia, but it was also a desire to get back a game that really was one of a kind. Over a decade later, the combat system in old school RuneScape is basically untouched. The graphics are the same as they were back in 2007. Even new content is intentionally designed to look and feel like old school RuneScape.
To the point where we vote. Everything comes down to the polls, all right? It's like America up in this bitch. We be voting for updates.
Something that sounds stupid, but makes a lot of sense when you see how seamlessly it all fits together. Old school RuneScape gets weekly updates, and it has for basically its entire existence with just a few exceptions. These updates range from bug fixes to new quests to new bosses and maybe entirely new regions. And when you go try out these new pieces of content, you'll be able to tell that it's more modern than what came before it, or at least a higher quality. But you'll be hard-pressed to find anything that doesn't feel like it fits in. Something that doesn't feel old school. This game and its developers know what its identity is, and sure, there's been changes over the course of the decade plus it's been out, that's normal, but it hasn't ever strayed from being what it is. It's a grindy but simple game that you can invest literally tens of thousands of hours into and never be done with. So why is old school RuneScape so popular? Because it's one of a kind.
And it has a good community. Very underrated aspect of old school. Now it has its bad parts, you know, it has the botters, it has the scammers and shit, but the content creators for this game do amazing work. I think most of them deserve more subs. The community, you know, when you go to mini games, for the most part, people are normally cooperative. The only places that I think are super toxic are Wildy, it's the Wildy. I think having a toxic Wildy is better than not having the Wilderness at all. The Wilderness, for anyone who doesn't know, is a PvP zone where if you die, you lose everything that you have with the exception of your 3 most expensive items. Although, if you're the one who initiated the attack, then you lose everything. So it's going to get a little toxic in the Wilderness. There's nothing you can do to counteract that other than take it out, which, as someone who doesn't really like the Wildy all that much, I liked it when I was a kid. I don't care for it that much now. I still think that it's a good addition to the game. Beneficial, you know, it's necessary. So, like, you go to the GE, for the most part, it's people talking. You can go to Wintertodd's kind of bad, but Temperos is decent. You can go to, like, you know, BA. BA is surprising because I hate BA, but you very rarely will have a bad experience there, especially if you're the one making your group.
And it knows that. And I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night. Hey, you're a patron.
That was a good video, man. I already liked it, so I'm not gonna like it again, but it was a good video. Atrioc presidential debate, and then Balatro. I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna do a full 4-hour stream today. We might do a couple hours though. I can give you maybe like 2 or 3.
Democratic Governor Tim Walz and Ohio's Republican Senator J.D. Vance tonight meeting for the first time.
All right, here we go. Here we go. They're meeting for the first time.
I'm Margaret Brennan.
Handshakes? Okay.
Senator, what responsibility would the Trump administration have to try and reduce the impact of climate change?
Donald Trump and I support clean air, clean water. We want the environment to be cleaner and safer. But one of the things that I've noticed some of our Democratic friends talking a lot about is a concern about carbon emissions, this idea that carbon emissions drives all of the climate change. Well, let's just say that's true, just for the sake of argument, so we're not arguing about weird science. Let's just say that's true. Well, if you...
Dude, why does Tim Walz kind of look like shit? I mean, I know we got Eyeliner Boy on the left, but not on the left politically, on the left of the screen. But he just does not look good.
Believe that. What would you want to do? The answer is that you'd want to reshore as much American manufacturing as possible, and you'd want to produce as much energy as possible in the United States of America because we're the cleanest economy in the entire world. What have Kamala Harris's policies actually led to? More energy production in China, more manufacturing overseas, more doing business in some of the dirtiest parts of the entire world.
We don't do energy production in China.
The amount of carbon emissions
China's a massive oil importer.
Yeah, I thought over the past administration we raised American energy production and shit. I don't really trust him, so if he says otherwise, I'm not gonna be like, well, I guess he's right. But I'm pretty sure just off rip, dude is fucking lying.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? We're getting more energy from China. Is a crazy statement. That's just not true.
We are seeing us become.
Glad Big A agrees with me on that.
An energy superpower for the future, not just the current, and that's what absolutely makes sense. And
the United States right now is like the world's first energy gigapower.
How do we make sure that we're protecting by burying our power lines? How do we make sure that we're protecting lakefronts and things that we're seeing more and more of? But to call it a hoax and to take.
Dude, they added fucking anime sound effects. Come on. I honestly don't know who does the editing.
And things that we're seeing more and more of. But to call it a hoax and to take the oil company executives to Mar-a-Lago, say, give me money for my campaign and I'll let you do whatever you want. We can be smarter about that, and an all-above energy policy is exactly what she's doing, creating those jobs right here.
Can I say,
is warming at an unprecedented
from
rate.
both of them, I'll give credibility.
We're going to turn now.
That question had more policy debate than the entire last debate between Kamala and Trump.
And the Chamber of Commerce and the Wall Street Journal said, pass this thing. Kamala Harris helped get there. 1,500 new border agents. Detection for drugs. But as soon as I was getting ready to pass and actually tackle this, Donald Trump said no. What would Donald Trump talk about if we actually did some of these things? And they need to be done by the legislature. You can't just do this through the executive branch. And he promised you, America, how easy it would be. I'll build you a big,
me and Big A are
wall, and Mexico will pay for it.
Right next to each other.
Less than 2% of that wall got built, and Mexico didn't pay a dime. But here we are again, 9 years.
Mexico didn't pay a dime.
Years after he came down that escalator.
I called it, Tim, build the walls.
Senator, the question was, will you
Tim wants
separate
the wall
parents from their
too.
children?
Yeah.
If you try to come across the border illegally, you've got to stay.
The immigration thing, they're just kind of cooked on. Because, well, I mean, that was her job. And that
in Mexico, you've got to go back through proper channels.
Hit a Mexican in the face, dude.
Brought up the community of Springfield, and he's very worried about the things that I've said in Springfield.
It's heartbreaking.
No. What are they doing in Springfield, JD? What are they doing in Springfield, Jedediah Davis? James David. It's not. Wait, so he was born James Donald Bowman? Fucking, what a hack.
Springfield, Ohio. And
Vance is such a, like a, I don't know. I feel like he workshopped it, you know? He was in the lab like, well, I could go for like Strong, right? Like, what if I just named myself like JD Strong? And then Peter Thiel was like, nah. And then I'm gonna stop this bit before I.
And in communities all across this country, you have got housing that is totally unaffordable because we brought in millions of illegal immigrants to compete with Americans for scarce homes. The people.
Huh? What did he say? What did he say? I might add that to the Steam Deck. Dude, what did he say? That the illegal immigrants are taking our houses. So they're taking our fucking houses. They're taking our fucking goddamn motherfucking goddamn cats and eating them.
People
Dude,
that I'm most worried
you're
about in
a brick,
Springfield,
JD.
Ohio, are the American citizens.
Look, this issue of continuing to bring this up, of not dealing with it, of blaming migrants for everything. On housing, we could talk a little bit about Wall Street speculators buying up housing and making them less affordable, but it becomes a blame. Look, this bill also gives the money necessary to adjudicate. I agree. It should not take 7 years for an asylum claim to be done. This bill gets it done in 90 days. Then you start to make a difference in this, and you start to adhere to what we know, American principles. I don't talk about my faith a lot, but Matthew 25:40 talks about
he's
to the
dropping
least amongst
verses?
us you do unto me.
Bro. Skip. I don't. I just. Every day, more and more, they pander to the fucking Republicans, man. This isn't my opinion. This is an opinion I'm stealing from Hassan, to be completely fair. But they just can't stop themselves. They want the middle voter, the imaginary guy. And I don't even know, like, the long-term play. But right now, this is what they're up to. Quoting Bible verses, saying Kamala was like, I got a gun. You know, they're dropping little fucking... I don't want to say it's a dog whistle because it's not like anything overtly cruel. But they're dropping like Republican nods, you know? They're dropping little things. And like personally, fuck those guys. I'm team fuck those guys. I'm team fuck out of here, bro.
I think that's true of most Americans.
Thank you, Governor. And just a
Amongst us you do unto me. I think, but Matthew 25:40 talks about
he's
to the
dropping
least amongst
verses?
us you do unto me. I think that's true of most Americans.
Thank you, Governor. And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have
You
a
kinda
large
cooked on that
number
one.
of
I'll be
Haitian
honest with you.
migrants who have legal
That was a good. He's dropping Bible
temporary
verses.
protected status.
Margaret,
Nora,
but
thank you, Senator.
relevant.
We have so much to get to.
Margaret,
Thank you.
I think it's important because
Oh, are they gonna do it? I saw this. This is like the only clip I saw from last night.
Out of the economy, thank
Margaret,
you.
the rules were that
The
you guys
economy,
weren't going to fact check, and since you're
Yo! JD! You can't say that! Guys! You said you weren't gonna fact check me. You said you weren't. You said I could just say whatever and it was gonna be fucking chill, dog. And now you're fact checking me. You're telling me I'm wrong and you're a woman, so I can't handle that.
Turn out of the economy, thank
Margaret,
you.
the rules were that
The
you guys weren't
economy,
going to
we're-
fact check, and since you're
The rules were that you weren't gonna fact check.
fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
Did he come out in a pink tie?
So there's an application called the CBP One app.
How would you pay for that without ballooning the deficit?
We're talking about
Governor, I'll give you 2
deficits?
minutes.
Yeah, thank you. And we
Neither of them have a
understand.
good
So
answer
those
for
of you
this.
out there listening, the one thing is there's 3 million new houses proposed under this plan with down payment assistance on the front end to get you in a house. A house is much more than just an asset to be traded somewhere. It's foundational to where you're at. And then making sure that the things you buy every day, whether they be prescription drugs or other things, that there's fairness in that. Look, the $35 insulin is a good thing, but it costs $5 to make insulin. They were charging $800 before this law went into effect. As far as the housing goes, I've seen it in Minnesota. 12% more houses in Minneapolis. Prices went down on rent for.
Hey, we just watched last week a More Perfect Union video about the privatization of the lowest income housing in rural communities, trailer parks, or mobile home communities, whatever they want to call them. But you can go and watch that video too if you want to be more educated on the realities there. But that, I personally, that's like one of my biggest concerns. I think that shit is fucking disgusting. I think it's abhorrent.
percent. It's working. The law as it stands right now is $5,000 tax credit for small business, increasing that to $50,000. Now, this is a philosophical difference between us. Donald Trump made a promise, and I'll give you this. He kept it. He took folks to Mar-a-Lago, said, you're rich as hell, I'm going to give you a tax cut. He gave the tax cuts that predominantly went to the top class. What happened there was an $8 trillion increase in the national debt, the largest ever.
He's
Where
calling
are we
the
going?
tariff
Kamala Harris has said to do the things she wants to do, we'll just ask the wealthiest to pay their fair share. When you do that, our system works best. More people are participating in it.
I do agree.
I do agree. The things that they need.
Here's what you won't hear is that
What won't we hear, JD? What won't we be hearing?
Kamala Harris has already done it because she's been the vice president for 3.5 years. She
This is
had
the
the
line I was talking
opportunity
about.
to
This
enact
works.
all of these great
This
policies.
works.
And what she's actually
She
done
hasn't done it, but this
instead
works.
is
But yeah, it does. It does. It's just it's the easiest like fucking fake-ism. You know, when Trump was running in 2016, they were doing the same shit. It's easy to fire up your base against the incumbent, but that doesn't really mean much. Like, is it working? Is it working for the Jewish guy who lives in fucking Pennsylvania in a swing state? No, it's not, because that's actually me. I'm him. I'm the guy, and it's not.
drive the cost of food higher by 25%. A lot of those same economists attack Donald Trump's plans, and they have PhDs, but they don't have common sense. And
brother, they spent tons of money and time and effort and fucking, years of their lives to get a PhD in economics. So I feel like they might be informed, God Emperor Trump, Pharaoh Donald might not know everything.
And they don't have wisdom because
They
Donald
don't have
Trump's economic
wisdom. Dude, they failed the wisdom saving throw. They failed it. So they're dead.
Policies to deliver the highest take-home pay in a generation in this country, 1.5% inflation, and to boot, peace and security all over the world. So when people say,
Bruh. Surely he's right. Surely he's right. Surely. Yeah, there was nothing that Donald Trump did during his 4 years had an impact on the following 4 years. Nothing involving Russia, nothing. I can't think of anything. I don't know. The Israel situation, I think it's unrelated to Trump's influence.
say that Donald Trump's economic plan doesn't make sense.
Every country had low inflation before COVID.
Everybody!
Much of what the senator said right there,
Thank
I'm
you,
in agreement
Atrioc.
with him
Thank
on
you for
this.
saying
I
that.
watched it happen too. I watched it to my communities, and we talked about that. But we had people undercutting the right to collectively bargain. We had right to work states made it more difficult. We had companies that were willing to ship it over, and we saw people profit. Folks that are venture capital in some cases, putting money into companies that will oversee. We're in agreement that we bring those home.
You said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there,
he's done this a couple times now, chat. Listen, when I heard the pitch, I was like, oh, football coach, social studies teacher, fucking former military, like, I know this guy. Everyone in America has met this guy in fucking freshman year, you know, or 11th grade, or whenever you have U.S. history. And the more I hear from him, sometimes I'm like, all right, he's being based. They're calling him Tampon Tim, and I'm like, why are they calling him Tampon Tim? And I look into it, and I'm like, oh, because he's based. Because he's, like, about that action. And then he just be doing dumb shit. Like, talking about guns he didn't shoot and fucking revolutions he did not witness happen. Come on, Tim.
Get at the top.
Do better.
Look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program.
Holy
to
shit.
Take young people there. We would take basketball teams.
Tim Walz is a Chinese sleeper agent?
And we would go back and forth to China.
Somebody has been on Twitter after this video was posted.
The issue for that was
Tim
to try
Walz
and
is a
learn.
Chinese
Now, look,
sleeper agent personally on the payroll of Xi Jinping himself?
Yes. Confirmed. Stamped, bro. Fucking signed, sealed, delivered. All right. Him, Eric Adams for Turkey, Trump for Russia, well, I was about to say someone else for another country, but I think I'm going to keep it to myself. But let's just say he didn't kill himself, is all I'll say.
I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he would.
He was I feel like they had beef, but Trump was a beef squasher, to his credit. You know, Trump would fucking yell at a dude on Twitter and then roll up to his demilitarized zone. And, like, I guess, I mean, I don't know why he wasn't there.
Wouldn't be,
Also, Walz, up to 2 months ago, had, like, a perfect rap. He was, like, squeaky clean, you know? People on both parties liked him. They didn't think he was weird. They didn't really care about him, if anything, but...
Praising Xi Jinping about COVID.
I think that people in his state liked him a lot, though.
And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world.
I must have missed this whole thing. I don't know.
Senator Vance,
what he,
in
when he claimed this.
2016, you called your running mate Donald Trump unfit for the nation's highest office, and you said he could be America's Hitler. I know you've been asked many times, and you've said you regret.
I'm a never Trump guy. Said eyeliner, fucking whatever, fake name, McFake name.
Those comments. But the Washington Post reported new messages last week in which you also disparaged Trump's economic record while he was president, writing to someone in 2020, quote, Trump thoroughly failed to deliver his economic populism. You're now his running mate, and you've shifted many of your policy stances to
These
align
questions
with
are
his.
brutal.
If you
they
become vice
fucking
president,
dug deep on these
why should
candidates,
Americans
bro.
trust that
Good, man. Fuck them. Fuck them.
you will give Donald Trump the advice?
Well, first of all, Margaret, because I've always been open. And sometimes, of course, I've disagreed with the president, but I've also been extremely open about the fact that I was wrong about Donald Trump. I was wrong, first of all, because I believed some of the media stories that turned out to be dishonest fabrications of his record. But most importantly, Donald Trump delivered for the American people. Rising wages, rising
I feel like he
take-home pay,
delivered for
an
you
economy that
getting
worked for
elected as
normal
senator in
Americans, a secure southern
2021.
border. Think about this. If you're trying to employ slave laborers in China at $3 a day, you're going to do that and undercut the wages of American workers unless our country stands up for itself and says, you're not accessing our markets unless you're paying middle-class Americans a fair wage.
Now to the issue of reproductive rights.
Bruh.
Governor Walz, after Roe versus Wade was
Again,
overturned,
focused
you signed
tariffs
a bill
on
into
certain
law
Chinese
that made
industries,
Minnesota one of the least restrictive
I think there's a
states
strong
in the
case
nation when
that
it
you could
comes
make states
to
for that.
abortion. Former President
100%
Trump
tariff
said
on
in the
all
last debate
goods?
that you believe
That's
abortion,
insane.
quote,
And then he tells us, oh, we send it to the states. It's a beautiful thing. Amanda Zaworski would disagree with you on it's a beautiful thing. A young bride in Texas waiting for their child.
Dude, I
at
hate
18
when
weeks,
either of them
she
do
has a
this. I hate
complication,
this.
A tear in the
I
membrane.
hate
She needs to go
we have to
in.
add a
The
human
medical
story to
care
every question.
At that, and the
Welcome
catch-all on
to
this is
welcome to the
well,
shit,
states will
bro. Welcome to
decide.
the fucking show. This is what they're up to. This is the shtick, man. This is the game. You know, people don't like a fucking young Sheldon looking stats motherfucker. They want a more personable. They want anecdotes. They want something that they can then repeat to their friends and be like, yeah, listen, man, I know I'm right because this situation with this person that I've never met.
What's right for Texas might not be right for Washington. That's not how this works. This is basic human right.
This is a good one. I mean, yeah.
Maternal.
It is, they are smoking crack with their fucking, we don't like it, so we're going to stay at states' rights. Where have I heard that before, bro? Where have I heard that before? We don't like it, so we're going to say that the issue's about states' rights. I can think of a year in the 1800s.
Mortality skyrocket
The whole
in Texas.
take it back to the states thing is
outpacing
just
many other
bullshit.
countries
It
in the
doesn't.
world. This is about
What it's saying
healthcare.
is
In
we're going to
Minnesota,
state by
we are
state
ranked
try to roll
first
it
in
back where we
healthcare for a
can
reason.
win elections.
We trust women.
Yup. That is what their plan is. Or, I mean, if you ask him, if you ask JD, it's a national abortion ban. If you ask Donald, apparently it's not, or he's not going to answer the question, I guess, is what he said. He's not president, so he won't answer the question about what he would do if he was president. And then fucking 52-year-old woman in Arkansas was like, yeah, Donald, yeah. Or a man, too. 52-year-old man as well. Could have been a man.
I grew up in a working class family in a neighborhood where I knew a lot of young women who had
I know a lot of you. Oh, is he about to say
unplanned pregnancies and decided to.
I thought he was about to say something else. I thought he was about to say something a fucking whole lot cooler, chat. I thought he was about to say, I knew a lot of women who were having unprotected sex.
Every question they're both opening with, by the way, I'm working.
Yeah, I'm working class. I'm from the Midwest. I drink beer and I just, him LARPing as being a human is really funny to me. Like, bro, we've all seen the video of you in the fucking donut shop, JD.
Feel like they didn't have any other options. Then Georgia has a different viewpoint from Arizona, and the proper way to handle this, as messy as democracy sometimes is to let voters make these decisions, let the individual states make their abortion policy, and I think that's what makes.
Why does Tim Walz look like a fucking lost puppy here, dude? Tim Walz looks like he is barely sure what's going on, man. He looks like he just pooped on the carpet. You know, he looks like he did something wrong and he's embarrassed.
Makes the most sense in a very big, a very diverse,
oh, he narrowed the eyebrows.
Sometimes a very, very messy and divided country.
There's a young woman named Amber Thurman. She happened to be in Georgia, a restrictive state.
Okay.
Because of that, she had to travel a long distance to North Carolina to try and get her care. Amber Thurman.
In JD's head, he's like, we're going to make that fucking illegal. Yeah, we're going to be tracking that. We're going to be in your car.
Bruh. Thurman died in that journey back and forth. The fact of the matter is, how can we as a nation say that your life and your rights, as basic as the right to control your own body, is determined on geography? There's a very real chance, had Amber Thurman lived in Minnesota, she would be alive today.
Good answer.
That's why the restoration of Roe versus Wade. Kamala Harris is proposing them. She's proposing all those things to make life easier for families.
I asked a specific question, Governor. You gave me a slogan as a response.
It's not the case.
No, I mean, I feel like he gave you an anecdote and then he gave you some reasoning and then a slogan.
It's not true. That's not what the law says. So they fact-checked it with President Trump.
Gentlemen, there's a lot to discuss. We have to move on.
Bro, why did he just do the narcissist grin? We just watched a whole video on this yesterday. Why did he just hit it? He just hit the smirk. He hit it. It's like he hit it fucking...
Yeah, he fact-checked it with President Trump.
Gentlemen, there's a lot to discuss.
Come on. He's hitting it, man. He's hitting it. I'm telling you. The infamous narcissist smirk.
Have to move on. We're going to be right back with much more of the CBS News vice presidential debate in just a moment.
That was the worst smile I ever seen. We got a break. I gotta see that again.
He's
There's a lot
devious.
to discuss. We have to move on.
Yeah, why does he look like that, bro?
Certainly more policy focused. I think to their audiences, both are coming off pretty good. To be honest.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think Trump's whole shtick, or like what they want to turn you into a Trump guy, you know? They're pretty like inconsistent in terms of like whatever they're gonna say their policies are and shit, but they aren't going to ever concede. The Democrats, they're more, oh well, you know, we like are gonna sprinkle some Republican views in here. We're just gonna like, you know, a little bit. Maybe you want to join our side because you know, we're cool with like guns a little bit now. Maybe we like the border now. Maybe. So like. They're both going after the same motherfuckers. It's the same demographic being competed over. And people that I feel like are in my position, we're just kind of forgotten about, you know. They will assume, rightly, that, you know, I'll vote for who I'm going to vote for. And they can't change it. So.
To be honest, I doubt this is going to sway a lot of people, this debate.
No. To be fair, none of this was ever going to sway most people. The undecided voters don't exist. It's bullshit. At its core, it's a game theory problem, at least the way that I think about the election stuff. And there are strategies that you can do based on being smart about who you are and who you're around. You don't, you know, you reveal certain information to certain people. Maybe you tell someone you hate that you're going to vote for a candidate you actually don't like so that they'll vote for the candidate that you like, thinking that they're getting one over on you or something. I'm sure most people aren't that petty with their vote, but it's all about informing like the type of person that would vote for this candidate or whatever. You know, it's like a psychological game in a certain way. And they're both fighting over the same fucking pawn.
You know, Vance is doing Are You Better Off Than 4 years ago? Gas, grocery prices, border. Tim Walz is doing abortion. We rolled back Roe v. Wade, and most people hate it. And we had a border bill, and then
I'm surprised he hasn't said anything about unions or healthcare in these clips that have been cut up from the debate, because I didn't watch the actual debate. This is how I get my news.
Trump called Republican senators and told them to cancel it. That's the talking points they've all had. So they're kind of repeating. It's kind of like a refresher to people that are just watching debates. And on the Wall side, I'm getting a little bit annoyed with every question having a human story, and then both saying, as a middle-class man,
Yeah, but to be fair, it annoyed the fuck out of me when Kamala said it too. The only one who hasn't been saying that over and over and just hitting the I'm middle class like fucking beat has been Trump. And it's because no one would ever in a million years believe that. Even the most deranged Trump supporters, his wealth plays a big factor into the myth of Donald.
Grew up in a small
Welcome back
town.
to the CBS News vice presidential debate. We want to turn now to America's gun violence epidemic.
I will say,
responsible could curb mass shootings. I'll give you 2 minutes.
JD Vance and I have the same facial hair.
Case, I don't know the full details, but
Yo, they actually do have the same facial hair. Dude, why is fucking it's JD Vance and it's fucking GCC Vance, fucking Glizzy Coffee Cow Vance.
I certainly trust local law enforcement. And like a lot of parents, we send our kids to school with such hope and such joy and such pride at their little faces on the first day of school. And we know, unfortunately, that a lot of kids are going to experience this terrible epidemic of gun violence. And of course, our hearts go out to the families that are affected by this terrible stuff.
What a
and we
tone
do
shift.
have to do better. We've seen a massive influx in the number of illegal guns run by the Mexican drug cartels. So that number, the amount of illegal guns in our country is higher
We do
today
not have a
than it
shortage
was
of
3.5
guns in this
years
country.
ago. But what do we
We
do
do
about
not
the
need to
schools?
get more
What do we do
guns
to
from
protect our
Mexico. I
kids? And think
promise
the
you we
answer
got
is,
plenty of
and
guns.
I say this not loving the
No,
answer,
dude,
because
come
I
on.
don't want my kids to go to school in a school that feels unsafe or where there are visible signs of security. But I unfortunately think that we have to increase security in our schools. We have to make the doors lock better. We have to make the doors stronger. We've got to make the windows stronger. And of course, we've got to increase school resource officers, because the idea that we can magically wave a wand and take guns out of the hands of bad guys, it just doesn't.
See, but bad guys aren't the ones shooting up the schools. The drug cartels aren't shooting up schools, bro. It's, if you look into it, it's a lot of white guys getting guns legally or getting them from people who got them legally and then doing mass shootings. And I think that you know that.
Fit with recent experience, so we've got to make our schools safer, and I think we've got to have some common sense
We need
bipartisan
stronger
solutions.
doors. You can do the gun buybacks.
Well, I
you
think
just
all the
pay for
parents
the guns
watching
and
tonight,
destroy
this is-
them.
this
It
is your
works.
biggest
I mean, they've
nightmare.
done
Look,
it in like
I got a 17-year-old, and
plenty of countries.
and he
Australia
witnessed
did
a
it.
shooting it. I've spent time.
Yo, hold up. Did he cut out that? Because that clip is Tim basically saying that his kid saw a fucking mass shooting or like an attempted mass shooting. And then JD is like, I'm very sorry to hear that or whatever. It was really a weird moment.
In Finland and seen some Finnish schools. They don't have this happen, even though they have a high gun ownership rate in the country. No one's trying to scaremonger and say we're taking your guns, but I ask all of you out there, do you want your schools hardened to look like a fort? Is that what we have to go when we know there's countries around the world that their children aren't practicing these types of drills, and we can make a difference. We have to. If you're listening
That's a good
tonight,
answer. Man, I
this
thought
breaks your heart.
we're gonna get stronger doors.
Tim, first of all,
is
I
a
didn't know that your
crazy
17-year-old witnessed a shooting.
fucking answer.
I'm sorry. And this is why we have to
Yeah, he
empower
did. He just
law
said, "I'm sorry."
enforcement to arrest the bad guys, put them away, and
The
take
bad
gun
guys.
offenders off.
The bad guys being brown people. That's what JD is trying to say. If it's not fucking obvious. Bro means brown people. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on that one.
Bro,
the
please
streets.
stop saying
I think
bad
it's a
guys.
whole
It's
host
so
of things that we can
simplistic.
do here, but I
He don't mean bad
We've
guys.
got to talk about more security.
You previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but it only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA. I
What?
was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety.
Come on, Tim. You're not friends with school shooters. You're friends with school shooting victims, okay? School shooters are the guys that did it. The victims are the people that were affected by it. Hope that helps.
You
I'm
misspoke.
of an age where my shotgun was in my car so I could pheasant hunt. They used to teach gun safety.
I think he
I'm
misspoke.
of an age where I was in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look,
Come on, Tim. You did not become friends with fucking Eric and Kyle, or whatever their names are. Dylan and Eric, I think, actually.
the NRA, I was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety.
I think he
I'm
misspoke.
of an age where my shotgun was in my car so I could pheasant hunt after football practice. That's not where we live today. And several things I want to mention on this is the number one
That's a bad
where
clip.
the most, we need to make it more affordable. And one of the things, as I said, this program that the Vice President is pushing forward and bringing a new way of approaching this is something we're doing in Minnesota from that lead. It starts to make it easier. We cut some of the red tape. Local folks, look, we can't do it at the federal level, but local folks make it easier to build those homes.
This one's like slippery, you know, because if they go too hard on it, the amount of people that will be like, yeah, this is great, and the amount of people that'll be like, fuck you, you're never getting voted into office, are super imbalanced, dude. People love guns in this country. So it's a tough line to be like, we're supposed to be the not, you know, super strong on guns guys. We're supposed to be the gun control guys.
And then that down.
And it's also a legitimate problem, you know, which adds into it.
Yeah, I mean, a huge part of it is how difficult it is to build. You just cannot build houses in America easily.
Using the GI Bill was one thing.
It's an insane amount of red tape.
Loan, the big thing
and then local councils block everything that's not,
have to pay the
you
down
know,
payment.
a beautiful.
Those are.
They put a red tape definition up. I feel like that should just be common knowledge. Maybe if you don't speak English, you're not familiar with it, but
things that make it
luxury apartment.
Where are you going to build all the new homes you're promising, and what part of any of this plan will provide immediate relief? You have 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, Tim just said something that I agree with. We don't want to blame immigrants for higher housing prices, but we do want to blame Kamala Harris for letting in millions of illegal aliens into this country, which does drive up costs, Tim. 25 million illegal aliens competing with Americans for scarce homes is one of the most significant drivers of home prices in the country. It's why we have...
That's just not true, chat. That's just not true.
Massive increases in home prices. Kamala Harris is not running as a newcomer to politics. She is
He's going back to this line. Again, this is the strongest
she wants
line.
to enact all of these policies to make housing more affordable. I invite her to use the office that the American people already gave her. Now, you asked, Margaret, what would immediately change the equation for American citizens? If you lower energy prices, as Donald Trump says, drill baby
energy
drill,
prices
one
are
of the
so
biggest drivers of
fucking
housing
low.
costs aside from illegal
They are
immigration.
so low right now.
If it's driving to the
They're
job site
so
to build a
low,
house,
dude.
it's also going to become a lot more expensive.
I think you want to be able to get out of your house in a fire. I think you want to make sure that it's fireproof and those types of things. So which are the regulations? Because the vice president's not responsible for those. Congress writes those.
Governor, thank you. Gentlemen, we have a lot to get to. You're passionate about the housing crisis, I can tell.
But. You said but, chat. You said but.
At the last
I know we have a lot to get to, but I
presidential
want to hear
debate,
this. I
former
actually want to hear
President
these
Trump was asked
back and
about
forths.
Replacing the Affordable Care Act. In response,
We're going to keep
he
saying we have a lot to get to until we
said,
have like
"I
1 minute left.
concepts."
He signed on to a lawsuit to repeal the ACA, but lost at the Supreme Court. And he would have repealed the ACA had it not been for the courage of John McCain to save that bill.
Damn,
now,
good memory.
Fast forward, what that means to you is you lose your pre-existing conditions.
I
If
have
you're sitting at home and you got
concepts of
asthma,
a
too
plan.
bad. If you're a woman, probably not. Broke your foot during football, might kick you out. And when Donald Trump said, I've got a concept of a plan, it
I
cracked
have
me up as a
concepts
fourth
of
grade
a
teacher
plan.
because my kids would
No, wait, peep it. I have concepts of a plan. Many have said, many have called him, they've said I'm the best. Yeah, nope. Marxist, she's a Marxist. Yeah, I can do it sometimes. I'm not on it today.
Never given me that. But what Senator Vance just explained might be worse than a concept, because what he explained is pre-Obamacare. And I'll make this as simple as possible because I have done this for a long time. What they're saying is, if you're healthy, why should you be paying more? So what they're going to do is let insurance companies pick who they insure, because guess what happens? You pay your premium, it's not much. They figure they're not going to have to pay out to you. But those of you a little older, gray, got cancer, you're going to get kicked out of it. That's why the system didn't work. Kamala Harris will protect and enhance the ACA.
Well, look, we currently have laws and regulations in place right now that protect people with pre-existing conditions. We want to keep those regulations in place, but we also want to make the health insurance marketplace function a little bit better. Now, what Governor Walz just said is actually not true. A lot of what happened, and the reason that Obamacare was crushing under its own weight, is that a lot of young and healthy people were leaving the exchanges. Donald Trump actually helped address that problem, and he did so in a way that preserved people's access to coverage who had pre-existing conditions. But again, something that these guys do is they make a lot of claims about if Donald Trump becomes president, all of these terrible consequences are going to ensue. But in reality...
Oh, Vance. You fucking idiot. You set him up to do that, bro. You set him up to be like, well, yeah, I do feel that way, actually.
Something that these guys do is they make a lot of claims about if Donald Trump becomes president, all of these terrible consequences are going to ensue. But in reality, Donald Trump was president.
It was funny the second time, too, man.
Inflation was low, take-home pay was higher, and he saved the very program from a Democratic administration that was collapsing and would have collapsed absent his leadership.
When it doesn't, it collapses. You are asking pre-ACA where we get people out. Look, people know that they need to be on health care.
He jimmed the camera.
I heard people say, well, I don't
Yeah, he did. He did.
Once you get past 70,
He did jim the camera.
negotiating those 10 drugs on Medicare for the first time in American history.
Thank you. Margaret.
Can I address that?
I apologize. We're out of
Go
time.
ahead,
We have a
Laura.
number of subjects to discuss. Margaret.
Let's talk
We have a
about
lot to get
families
to.
in America. There is a child
We have a lot
care
to get to.
crisis
We have a lot
in
to
this
get to.
country.
But the cultural pressure on young families and especially young women, I think makes it really hard for people to choose the family model they want. A lot of young women would like to go back to work immediately. Some would like to spend a little time home with the kids. Some would like to spend longer at home with the kids. We should have a family care model that makes choice
I feel like
possible.
most don't
And I
want to
think
come
this
back
is
to
a
work
very important
immediately
substantive
after just
difference
giving birth.
between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's approach. I mean, look, if
He
you
said a
look at
lot
the
of women
federal
and a
programs that we
few
have
want to
to
take a couple
support
days
paid
off.
family leave right now.
That was crazy.
The Community
I'm
Development Block
pretty
Grant, and
sure
there's
most
another
people
block
that just had
grant
a
program
kid
that
don't want
spends a
to
lot of
immediately
money
go
from the
back to
federal
work.
government.
Is President Trump committed to the $5,000 per child tax credit that you have described? You have 1 minute.
Well, what President Trump said, Margaret, I just want to defend my...
He has 1 minute. All you got to do is say yes or no, JD. But I know you're going to say, well, as like a middle-class white guy, you know, from Ohio, I would probably say...
The running mate here a little bit is that we're going to be taking in a lot of money by penalizing companies for shipping jobs overseas and penalizing countries who employ slave laborers and then ship their products back into our country and undercut the wages of American workers. And
Oh, man. They're so close to doing two actual, like, good ideas. I know that that is not what would actually happen, but that's, like, almost a good idea. They're almost there. Like, maybe, yeah, maybe you should hold corporations accountable. Either side, maybe you should do that. Maybe that could be useful.
I think what President Trump is saying is that when we bring in this additional revenue with higher economic growth, we're going to be able to provide paid family leave, childcare options that are viable and workable for a lot of American families.
What?
Can you clarify how that will solve
Yeah, what does that? What does that
child
mean?
care
Wait, what?
shortage?
Well, because as
We're gonna
Tim said,
punish
a lot
companies
of
for
the
jobs
childcare
overseas. It's gonna make
shortages, we just don't
childcare
have enough
cheaper?
resources
Because,
going into the
question mark.
About the state of
tariff on all
democracy, the
goods
top
coming into
issue
America.
for-
Step one, hold everyone accountable for shipping jobs overseas. Step two, punish other countries for using slave labor. Step three, question mark. Step four, cheaper childcare. Boom. We did it. We just need to figure out what that third step is, and then we're there. Dude, it's like the OpenAI plan to make profit. You guys ever heard that? It's step one, make AI. Step two, devalue the work of artists and creators. Step three, question mark. And step four, profit. Because there's no plan. The plan is to make AGI and have it make money. And no one in the room thought that. I don't know. I'm getting off track, but fuck, dude.
It just won't fucking work. I don't know how to.
And inflation, pain,
All
and
the countries
others
affected by it are going to do some sort of
62
retaliatory
lawsuits
tariff.
contesting
The cost of
results.
goods will go up.
Judges,
It's not
including
going to
those
make enough
appointed
money to
by
pay for
President Trump
national
and
child
other Republican
fucking care.
presidents. Senator Vance, you have said you would
And all that money would go to, you know, our friends overseas anyway, so.
not have certified the last presidential election and would have asked the states to submit alternative.
I saw this part too. This part was pretty fucking bad, dude. This part, bad look. But anyone who thought this was a bad look was never going to vote for this motherfucker anyway, so.
Electors.
Bro said, I'm not Mike
That has been
Pence.
called
I got your back,
unconstitutional
Big
and
T.
illegal. Would you again seek to challenge this year's election results, even if every governor certifies the results? I'll give you 2 minutes.
Well, Nora, first of all, I think that we're focused on the future. We need to figure out how to solve the inflation crisis caused by Kamala Harris's policies, make housing affordable, make groceries affordable.
That's their
And
line
that's
for
what we're
every time
focused on. But I
January
wanna answer
6th is
your
brought up. They
question
always
because you
say we
did ask
gotta
it.
focus on the
Look, what
future.
President Trump has
Forget
said
about
is
what
that
I
there
did.
will be
past is the
problems in
past.
2020.
I will tell you this, that when this is over, we need to shake hands this election, and the winner needs to be the winner. This has got to stop. It's tearing our country apart.
It's really rich for Democratic leaders to say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave over power on January the 20th, as we have done for 250 years in this country.
What? What? Huh? Huh?
Bruh.
What? Brother, go back fucking 14 days. Tell me what happened 14 days before the peaceful transfer of power.
To say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave over power on January the 20th, as we have done for 250 years in this country. We are going to shake hands after this debate and after this election. Of course, I hope that we win, and I think we're going to win. But if Tim Walz is the next vice president, he'll have my prayers, he'll have my best wishes, and he'll have my help whenever he
I think he went pretty.
He'll have my help. You're not invited to the squad, man. This isn't and my axe and my sword. Nah, JD. Nah, leave the couch. Not and my couch. No, you're not. Hopefully you don't make it on the fucking team. And if you're not on the team, you're not riding the bench. You're not traveling. You're not doing nothing, all right?
And screaming, bro.
In this country,
there was like
Democrats
30 lawsuits. There was the constant tweets. There was the fucking
said that Donald Trump had the election
the January 6th riot. Then there was the attempts to overturn it to get Mike Pence to certify false electors.
This has been going on for a long time, and if we want to say that we need to respect the results of the election,
dude, Tim looking like a fucking goblin man again. Yeah, I don't know, like. I don't know. Maybe he's just not very photogenic or something. I've seen him in other stuff, and he looks like a jovial, jolly, like, guy. He looks chill. Here, he's looking like he's about to get fucking killed in Lumbridge World 301, man. And he's going to drop me 15 coins or some shit.
But if we want to say, as Tim Walz is saying, that this is just a problem that Republicans have had, I don't buy that.
I think this is the conversation they want to hear. And I think there's a lot of agreement, but this is one that we are miles apart on. This was a threat to our democracy in a way that we had not seen. And it manifested itself because of Donald Trump's inability to say. He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Oh.
Tim, I'm focused on the future.
I'm focused on the future? We talking about the past? The thing that already happened? Bruh. We talking about the past? It already happened. What we gonna do? Change it? I mean, no, but you could be, potentially inviting a repeat of the situation. So people would like to know if you felt that way then, because you might feel that way again in the future.
Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is a damning non-answer.
It's a damning non-answer for you to not talk about censorship. Obviously, Donald Trump and I think that there were problems in 2020. We've talked about it. I'm happy to talk about it further.
When Mike Pence made that decision to certify that election, that's why Mike Pence isn't on this stage. What I'm concerned about is, where is the firewall with Donald Trump? Where is the firewall if he knows he could do anything, including taking an election, and his vice president's not going to stand to it? That's what we're asking you.
This is good.
Will you stand up? Will you keep your oath of office, even if the president doesn't? And I think Kamala Harris would agree. She wouldn't have picked me if she didn't think I would do that.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing. That was a cook.
Right back.
Is this guy a CEO of Apple? Because Tim is cooking. I hate the. Let's look at the future. And I really like the line about, hey, like the reason Mike Pence is not here is because he didn't support Donald Trump challenging the election, which is true. I think Vance has done a pretty good job of what I said before this, of trying to steer everything back to the fact of like, hey, people are fucking pissed right now. They weren't pissed in 2017. Let's go back. On abortion, on gun control, on childcare, on healthcare, on all the questions where he couldn't do that, he's been terrible. He's been terrible. I think they've both done well enough that both sides are going to find clips and they're going to celebrate as a win. It was interesting. I mean, I think
the betting website or whatever had Waltz losing the debate. It never mattered, though. To be fair, if Waltz had done triumphantly well, it still does not really change anything. It doesn't move the needle, so to speak. But I guess it's good that nothing bad happened for either of them, really.
As Americans, if we had debates like this all the time, it might actually be fucking good for the country. Because people are at least somewhat hearing it's still theater, but they're at least somewhat hearing like the different stances, where they agree, where they disagree. It's way better than the last debate, which was pure theater from both sides. I don't like JD Vance getting cut off a lot. They both gotten cut off at least once, but JD Vance more than once, where a moderator says, we have a lot to get to. I think they should let him speak.
It is now
By the way,
time
30
for
days
the
to the election.
statements. Senator
Thank you to all of you. If you're still up and the folks who miss Dancing with Our Stars, I appreciate it. But look, the support of the democracy matters.
That's what we were going to
It
watch
matters
instead
that
on this
you're
stream.
here. And I'm as
We
surprised
missed
as anybody
Dancing with the Stars
of this
Tuesdays.
coalition that Kamala Harris has
Not
built. From Bernie Sanders to Dick Cheney to
WTS.
Taylor Swift. And a whole bunch of folks in between them.
Brother, not good cosigns. Well, Taylor Swift might be a good cosign, but he said from Dick Cheney to Taylor Swift.
And I'm as surprised as anybody
Dancing with the Stars
of this
Tuesdays.
coalition that Kamala Harris has built. From Bernie Sanders to Dick Cheney to Taylor Swift.
Okay, Bernie Sanders to Dick Cheney to Taylor Swift. A politician who, you know, I guess Bernie would be known to not align himself if he doesn't agree. That's why Joe Biden is like the most progressive technically. Because if you look at stuff that he's voted for, he will always be in favor of like moderately progressive ideas, whereas someone like Bernie will turn down things that would boost his like progressive stat or whatever, but would have concessions made in them because he doesn't feel that it's right. The other two are a war criminal and a serial global polluter. I mean, you know, she does other stuff too, but...
And a whole bunch of folks in between them. And they don't all agree on everything, but they are truly optimistic people.
Awful blunt
they
rotation.
Believe in a awful
Yeah,
future of this country.
it is the nightmare
Kamala Harris
rotation.
gives us a different option. Now, I'll have to tell you, I'm going to be careful about the quotes, but there's one that Senator Vance said that does resonate with me. He said, Donald Trump makes the people I care about afraid. A lot of America feels that way.
He did say
We
this.
don't need to be afraid.
In
Franklin Roosevelt was
2016.
right. All we have to fear is fear itself. Kamala Harris is bringing us a new way forward. She's bringing us a politics of joy. She's bringing real solutions for the middle class, and she's centering you at the heart of that.
One of the issues we didn't talk about was energy. And I remember when I was being raised by my
Energy?
grandmother, when she didn't have enough money to turn on the heat some nights because Ohio gets pretty cold at night and because money was often very tight. And I believe, as a person who wants to be your next vice president, that we are a rich and prosperous enough country where every American, whether they're rich or poor, ought to be able to turn on their heat in the middle of a cold winter night. That's gotten more difficult thanks to Kamala Harris's energy policies. I believe that whether you're rich or poor, you ought to be able
Also,
to
I don't think
afford
that's true.
a nice
I'm
meal
pretty
for your
confident.
family. That's gotten harder.
That's one of the few
because
things.
of Kamala
That is
Harris's
true.
policies.
Well, not because
you ought
of
to
her
not have
policies,
your
but...
communities flooded with fentanyl, and that too has gotten harder with because of Kamala Harris's policies. Now, I've been in politics long enough to do what Kamala Harris does when she stands before the American people and says that on day one, she's going to work on all these challenges I just listed. She's been the vice president for 3.5 years. Day one was 1,400 days ago.
This is good.
And her
This is
policies
good.
we need change. We need a new direction. We need a president who has already done this once before and did it well. Please vote for Donald Trump.
Bruh, he did not say he did it before and he did it well. He ain't do shit. He didn't do shit. All he did was lie and hang out with Putin and charge his phone and fire half his cabinet and appoint Supreme Court justices that were former frat boys. Caught. I'm a former frat boy. Caught. Oh, yellow guy with hands up. You fucking got me. Yellow guy with hands up. Ha ha. Take that shit back to fucking Ron's chat.
And whether you vote for me or vote for Tim Walz, I just want to say I'm so proud to be doing this, and I'm rooting for you. God bless you, and good night.
Senator Vance, thank you.
What are they saying? What are they possibly saying?
Oh, hey, yeah, man, you know, like, you really got me there when you asked me if I thought that Trump won the election in 2020. Oh, hey, man, to be fair, you know, when you hit that little nefarious smirk, you know, I was like, oh.
You like Atrioc too? Yeah.
Dude, I saw a crazy tweet, or I think it was an Instagram post, but it was
he's
like
awesome. Yeah, he's awesome.
this, and then them all, like, them introducing them to each other, like JD and Tim introducing their wives to each other.
Pretty good.
Then it was like, all right, now it's time for the VP wife swap. Here, wait, Oh, no, I have to log into Instagram.
Hey, I don't know if our standards have just gotten so low, but I thought that was pretty good, especially because the Biden-Trump and the Trump-Kamala one were both very low on anything substantive. You know, this is like an ounce, this is like a single piece of broccoli after miles of slop. It felt a lot better.
Oh, we were chewing on some fucking slop there. You know, I think we're just going to keep the just chatting rolling. I'll do Balatro tomorrow, or no, Friday. Yeah, I'll do Balatro Friday. We'll get some games in. Failed alpha male is losing his mind. Okay, I like this dude's videos, but I will admit, he's like a king hater. So this dude, too lazy to try. He makes mostly videos centered around the Brogan podcast sphere. A lot of videos about Bert Kreischer, a lot of videos about Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, even the Kill Tony people. In addition, he also does a lot of videos about the Whack Pack, you know, old Howard Stern lore, and he does some stuff on streaming. He actually has a video about Atrioc. I don't really want to get into that whole thing, but it's generally his gist. He's mostly a drama channel, more or less. But he focuses on drama that I think is funny. Because most of the people that he talks about I don't like. Like Sneeko. Fucking idiot. Hate that guy. So I guess we're going to watch...
Alright, so in this video...
Failed alpha male is losing his mind.
We have that alpha male red pill life coach guy, Wes Watson, who will yell at you for $3,000 a month and coach you, so eventually you can yell at people and coach them so that they can learn to coach people or something. I'm still not exactly...
Wait, bro.
People.
Stop being a bitch. Do you think he was in Canva and he was like, all right, for this thumbnail, we got to add a white stroke, maybe like 3 pixels. Dude, and you can see how shitty the fucking, the green screen effect that he used was. We can still see his background between his hands.
And coach them so that they can learn to coach people or something. I'm still not exactly sure what he does, but I know there's a lot of yelling and coaching going on. And apparently it's been a very lucrative business for him. He loves talking about how much money he makes. And it's so much he can't just say how much he makes in a year. And he has to break it down as much as possible so us poors can fully understand how much it really is.
Do about $2 million a month at 85% profit. Yeah.
Why does he sound like he fucking chews marbles, dude? He sounds like Coach O. But Coach O is also fucking morbidly obese and like twice this guy's age.
Yesterday alone, I did 90,000. Okay. But today, so far, just on the drive down here, I did about 15,000 on the drive back here.
We do not care. Who the fuck asked? Nobody.
Bruh. Today, we'll do anywhere between 30 and 200 grand. Every day, I do between 30 and 200,000. I have about 40,000 in recurring revenue from all my programs that I get daily. So daily I get 40,000 regardless. If I don't do one thing.
So he really enjoys talking about how much money he makes, but when he's not doing that, he's usually having a meltdown over how little other people make and how he's so far above them. Like, he's always...
Is this the guy? I forget who it was, but I've seen a clip of like a bunch of dudes, like alpha male bros at a panel, and one of them basically was like, well, you're not ripped, so like shut the fuck up. And then he was like, well, you know, like I have like a family I care about and like commitments, so like I gotta be a dad, you know. You wouldn't know anything about that because your entire life is like centered around you because you're a piece of shit. And I forget who it was. It might have been this guy
going off on the pores, as Tom Segura would say. But
you know it's bad when Jack Doherty gets brought up into the mix, dude.
Tom seems like the most down-to-earth person ever compared to Wes. I mean, one time he talked about flipping out and putting his hands on somebody because they didn't shut his car door properly. I think that's what he's saying here. Honestly, I'm not too sure. I think I might be too poor to even understand what he's mad about.
I don't operate too well around normal people because they're stupid.
The fucking normies. The fucking disgusting normies. I hate them, but I need them to fucking give me money for my course.
Because they're not that educated. They don't understand what the f*** is happening. The motherfucker pushes my phantom door with his hand on the pane. I go, motherfucker.
They're not that educated. I would be probably the most... I will do a shot of hot sauce right now if I am less educated than this guy. All right, we'll Google him. I'm sure that he'll have some embellished resume, right? I'm sure that, you know, he'll have some sort of information. Oh, I gotta find this dude's name. What is his fucking name? He didn't... I gotta go back to the beginning of the video now.
All right, so in this video, we have that alpha male red pill life coach guy, Wes Watson.
Okay, Wes Watson. Before I Google him, just for context, this might be unfair, but I am a fucking nerd. I have an engineering degree. Currently do engineering shit, working on science stuff. I'm not going to get more into it than that. But I only have a bachelor's. So if this dude is a master, but if he has even a business degree, we're not taking it, okay? Science degree is fine. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia. He's a bum. Wes Watson College. I believe this is not the right guy. Yeah. Yeah, so it's looking like he probably didn't go to college. Wes Watson Influencer College. Yeah, no, nothing is coming up. This motherfucker did not go to college. I'm more educated than you, but because I touched the paint. They don't know about the paint on the Phantom. Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, you stupid motherfucker.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
This happens all day.
No, that's not good. I would never let someone like that get to me, though.
Oh, no.
Isn't there
Bro, these motherfuckers aren't even like human. They're a whole other beast, you know? They're brick. They're brick species. I wouldn't even be able to handle that. Bro, we've all seen the videos. We've all seen the videos of you on the planes, you out in public with no security. Suddenly when you get pressed, it's not funny. Oh, you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking pussy. I'd fade you so quick, Jack Doty. I'd have fun doing it, bro. It would be easy. It'd be light work, all right? Brother could not fade. He doesn't know what this action's about, all right? I might not have the stamina. That's probably my weakest link. But I definitely got the reach on him. I definitely got the weight on him. I definitely got the fucking IQ on him. All right? I've been punched in the face before. He might have been punched in the face before, but I didn't get fucking knocked out or cry like a bitch. I just kind of was more like, Shit, bro.
A certain point where you can't let people that are doing like that you're doing way better than get to you, you know?
No, you have to teach them.
And you know you're too far gone when even this kid thinks you're out of control. Like, I always
True.
thought this kid was the worst, but
He
I
does
think Wes
fucking
might have
suck.
him beat. And it's just funny that Wes is always talking about how important money is, and he brags about how much he makes, but he always just seems miserable and lets the dumbest shit get to him. Like, if you remember around 5 months ago, he threw a temper tantrum at a Fresh and Fit event because somebody was talking about how materialism isn't the most important thing
It
in
was
life.
him. Okay, and it was from another one of this guy's videos. Yeah, this shit was fucking cringe, dude.
Which just caused him to lose it, and he's pretty much just been spiraling ever since.
Dude, God damn, look at whose shirt is that? Dude, your fucking mom bought you that. Your aunt bought you that for fucking Thanksgiving dinner. That's like Oshkosh Bagosh or some shit, bro. Holy shit. If those are men to you guys,
God
go fucking kill
God
yourself.
forbid you say watches are not important to this guy.
Yeah, it was some bullshit like that that set him off.
No, it's the thing about materialism. You
worship it, dude. You worship it. Listen how reactive you are if someone
Shave
says
your goddamn arms.
See, you can't deal with it. You can't deal with it.
Shave
Why
your
would I shave-
alpha male fucking bald guy just said shave your arms. Huh? What? What are you talking about, man? What are you fucking talking about?
My arms, I'm
Smoking crack.
a man.
These pale
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
Shave your body. Aren't you a man?
So it's been around 5 months since that, and he still hasn't recovered. I mean, I don't think he ever will. And he's kind of proven their point. You know, he talks about money's so important and everything, but like I said, he seems miserable and is always having a meltdown over the smallest things. Like recently he talked about being in an Uber driver's car, and he's flipping out at somebody on the phone, of course. And the driver tried to give him some advice, some good advice, and he said he shouldn't let people get to him that much. But of course, this just pissed Wes off even more. So he had to put the driver in his place and tell him how much money he has and call him a broke loser.
Driver, he was just quiet the whole way as I just fucking laid into this idiot on the way here, because these people, they always just fucking insert their fucking advice into my life, and whatever me and the guy were talking about, I had to yell at the dude, tell him he's a fucking dipshit, and he shut the fuck up. And then the Uber driver's like, you shouldn't let people get to you like that. I said, no, bro. No, bro. How old are you, dog? He said 67. I said, you're an Uber driver at 67. Let's just go over the facts. You just picked me up at my $25 million house. You're dropping me off at my warehouse. Look inside there. I opened the garage. I said, there's Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis in there. That lifted truck right there is $600,000. I was like, you're an Uber driver at 67, bro. Look at your physical condition and look at where you're at. You're an Uber driver. You just picked me up at my $25 million house. Like, you picked me up there. You saw it, bro.
And all the guy said was that he shouldn't take shit so personal. This, honestly, might be the prime contender for why hazing is good. All right, now just hear me out on this. I think when done correctly, it will train you to not be this way. It'll make you have harder skin. It'll make you look at life in a more funny way. And I think that if this dude was in a frat and he got fucking bullied as a pledge, that he wouldn't be a huge piece of shit now. Because, you know, he would go through his problems in his everyday life and be like, well, you know, shit happens. Sometimes you gotta scrub motherfuckers' shoes for 2 months straight. You know, sometimes you gotta mop up puke or whatever. He's not capable. He's not actually tough. He's very fit and good at pretending he's rich. He's not rich. Levels to this. There's levels to this. If he was actually rich, he would not need to hustle the way that he hustles.
Why are you giving me any advice? All you should do is ask me what the fuck I do and how I did it. And you should realize that top people, the only reason a lot of you guys are not top people is because you don't yell at people.
So he's doing a...
Oh. So smart. Wes is entrapped by the materialistic bullshit and roided up show muscles that he totally misses the point. All that shit can be taken away in a day, and then what do you have? If the Uber driver is comfortable with his money, has people who love and respect him as a person, not for what he has, if he works on bettering himself as a human being, has self-respect, leaves the world a better place than he found it, is missed when he's gone. If he has all that, he has far more than Wes.
A real good job of proving how important materialism is. You know, it sounds like all that money he has is making him real happy. I mean, that Uber driver was probably like, listen, I'm good with what I'm doing. If that's what making money is like, having roid rage every day over some stupid shit, like somebody blowing a leaf blower outside your house, then I think I'm happy with what I'm doing.
And I just want to say, for the record, I'm one of these types of guys, okay? I'm not like an alpha male piece of shit, but I get very emotional. I get very angry irrationally about things, and it's not a good trait. It's not a good trait to have. It's a bad trait to have. I wish I was chiller. I wish I was more go with the flow. I think that it probably would make life easier, and chances are I would spend more time doing shit and less time stressed about shit. But one way or the other, this motherfucker can't be happy, bro.
We still need to hear this fucking noise when people have to just walk around your house blowing leaves because they don't have any better solution.
What do you want them to do? Because you obviously want the leaves gone, right? So what do, bud? Do you get rid of the leaves a different way? Or are you going to fucking grind them up and mix them in a protein shake or some shit, bro? You tell me, because leaf blower, it's in the name. It blows the leaves. You also said you have a $25 million house. Go to the other fucking side of the house then. Go to the other room. It's really not that fucking complicated.
It's fucking psychotic. Who the fuck likes this noise around their house?
I don't like it.
Pay for it. Okay.
I don't like it, but my house has fucking like 10 rooms in it. You know what I'm not bedrooms, like literally like I guess 4 bedrooms and then a living room, a dining room and 2 bathrooms. We're a very small house. Well, it's a decent like for the amount of people we got, it's a small house. And I can go avoid the leaf blower sound. I do it because I live on the bottom floor of the house and it's fucking loud and I get mad. But I can just go to another room. I don't need to make a video about it.
Hey, there's a good invention for you motherfuckers. Fuck! Shut! Watch. Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah, I've lived this, dude. It's not good. Like, bro, you don't want the leaves on your property. So, like, what else are you gonna do other than blow the fucking leaves off? You got 2 options. Leaf blower noise and no leaves, or no leaf blower noise and fucking leaves. It's one of the 2. He's still going. He's still going.
Well, there the fuck you go. 2 minutes of the video wasted. Because these motherfuckers just don't get that it's so fucking annoying to sit there and... There's no possible way that needed to be done at that level. This is...
And imagine hiring this guy as your life coach. How sad is that?
Yeah,
I mean, these people that are barely scraping by will seriously pay him thousands of dollars for him to yell at them. But I think he might be finally running out of losers to take advantage of because his views are way down. He keeps embarrassing himself. He seems to be getting more and more desperate. Like recently he was flipping out at his fans for being broke and not having at least $10,000 to pay for his course.
99% of you motherfuckers are in such a laughable position, it makes me sick.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying bro has no motion. A motherfucker with some motion. A motherfucker with some motion, they would not be doing this. They would be fucking drinking and chilling or I guess lifting if that's what you like to do. They wouldn't need to be tripping about no $10,000. They wouldn't need to be isolating their audience.
To think that you actually should speak or know anything, or why the fuck you're even still breathing at this point. Go on to always say, hey, invest in me, believe in me, I'll be your best student. Motherfucker. Ain't no best motherfucker doesn't have 10 fucking G's, doesn't have 100 G's, doesn't have an M to spend.
Bro, what? He's baiting. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's baiting. He's trying to be like, you guys are poor, so that they'll donate money and be like, no, we're not. Look, see, Wes, we're actually rich. I bought your course. Help me fix my life and get bitches.
You don't even got a credit card? Who the fuck should ever trust you?
I do got a credit
get
card.
To a position like you see motherfuckers like me have, and you don't have 100 grand liquid to spend on your business? You losers and you dumb bitches. Yeah, I said it. You guys don't ever want to give compliments up top because you want success to be what you already.
So this is a bold strategy for him, yelling at his fans for not wanting to put $10,000 on a credit card to pay for.
I'm
his
not going to
course
read this one.
so he can continue to afford driving around in a Bugatti. I mean, it sounds like people are starting to come to their senses finally and realizing how embarrassing it would be to pay this guy. I mean, he's telling people, you can get to my level, but first you have to help me finance my lifestyle.
Yup.
You know, like, you want to get a Bugatti? Well, help me pay for mine first. And he always talks about how much money he spends every month, like it's a flex, but it just sounds like he's an idiot because he's probably going to go broke. I mean, I'm sure his sales are dropping, and like I said, he seems desperate.
And he's probably just smart enough to think that he has to justify it by being like, well, no, like this, it's like off camera. I guarantee you, in the recesses of this dude's mind, he thinks that he has to, I have to travel in the private jet because I have to make a video about it to keep the brand appearances. I mean, people wouldn't watch me if they knew that I wasn't flying fucking private and I was kind of like, financially irresponsible.
Desperate, but he'll never give up his lifestyle. That would be so embarrassing for him. You know, that's all he has. So he'd probably rather just go bankrupt. Like he said, he still spends $600,000 in monthly expenses.
Yeah, you're a fucking moron. You're a moron, guy. If you're spending $600,000 in fucking monthly expenses, you're a moron. You're a brick.
Strategy is to brag about that while yelling at his fans for not giving him enough money.
How do so many grown men who look like they're doing okay online not even have 10 grand?
I feel like he played this clip already.
What are you guys doing? You don't even have 10 grand.
Or is this just the wall of his gym and he's in the gym all fucking day?
The who takes offense to that is so fucking stupid. You should be like, well, damn. How do you have 600,000 in bills a month and still be buying dope ass shit? I can't even.
No. You have $600,000 a month because you won't stop buying dope ass shit. The bills are the buying dope ass shit.
I even pay for my lame ass shit and I have no savings. I'm a dumb f. Please teach me how. I'm one of those idiots. As soon as you admit that you're a dumb fucking idiot, then you can change. As soon as you admit you're a fat titty having loser fuck, then you'll understand why the fuck you don't know shit about your stupid diet. You guys don't know shit. You wouldn't be where you're at if you knew anything.
Bro.
Yeah, so I don't know if business is going so great if this is what
This
he's
guy's
resorting to.
smoking crack.
You know, it's so funny. He's supposed to be a life coach, and this is his life, flipping out on social media because people won't pay him because they're too broke. Like, shouldn't he have better things to be doing? You know, he supposedly has the life
if he was
everybody
actually
wants,
rich.
but this is what he spends his time doing, getting all worked up over broke people. And now he's falling for trolls, too. Like, recently somebody, just to mess with him...
Yo, he's what would happen if you poured Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ooze on Brendan Schwab. Why is that, like, pretty accurate? That's like Raphael and Brendan Schwab smashed together.
Him that they wanted a free trial for his course because they couldn't afford it. And Wes called him flipping out about how he's a broke loser. And it's so funny to think this is Wes trying to make a sale, you know, which has sadly probably worked way too many times.
How dumb are you guys? You guys are fucking the biggest pussies, bro.
What did he say?
And you are too scared to spend $3,000 to have a chance at having an opportunity to live like I live. Do you get how stupid that is?
Wes, I'm trying to run up the money. I just need a trial period.
Listen, do you get how stupid that is?
It's obviously a
Do you
troll.
understand how stupid you are by even telling someone on
Yeah,
my
you
level
can hear him
that
laughing.
you want a trial?
On my level. On my level.
Bruh. Period. Do you understand what you look like to me? Do you think I would work with someone who wants a trial period when it's knowledge? This is not something you try, you fucking idiot.
Bro.
This is knowledge that once you have it, you're skilled to make money. Do you understand how dumb what you're saying is? People like you ruin my brain, bro. Don't ever hit me up again. You ruined any chance. I had to just call you to tell you how stupid you are, bro. This is how stupid you are. Okay? Stupid?
Yeah, so that was amazing. And I love that Wes is trying to act like he just called him to tell him he's a broke loser and he didn't want to work with him and he didn't want him to sign up for his course, because obviously he's just trying to shame him into buying the course. Like, why else would he waste his time talking to a broke loser for free too? Isn't his time more valuable than this? I mean, he's spending it getting trolled. And it happened again too with the same person. He told Wes he'd sign up for the course, but then when he has him on the phone, he makes a P. Diddy joke at the end, and Wes just loses it and drops the hard R.
Yeah, I was just trying to sign up for some coaching, bro.
No, I don't know if I can actually do this. I'm not trying to get all TOS for that. Dude, the TOS is not worth it. The TOS is not worth it. Not worth. I'm not taking the L on that one. Good video, though. Just wish he was a little bit less of a hater is all. You know, I could start doing sports ball, but I'd have to watch the first couple weeks because I have not been paying attention to football as much as I wanted to. I just get busy, man, and fucking distracted. Anything else that looks good? I was watching the Flashpoint Paradox, and it looks very better. Nah. Lunite. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any other fire for us to do a little react to. I am banned from Fortnite Mondays.
What's up, guys? This is a video that I never thought I'd have to make, but here we are.
It's a shame, man. It's a damn shame. It's so sad.
And I think I owe it to the fans out there of the team and the sponsors that we had lined up. That I'll just cut right to the chase. I am no longer allowed to compete in Fortnite Mondays, which is Ludwig's new weekly Fortnite event. Despite being a competitor and on his team last week.
Why aren't they letting him compete, chat? Why aren't they letting him compete?
The news came as a shock, for sure. Like news like this usually does, but even if you see it coming, but this was definitely definitely unexpected. And you're probably wondering why. I myself don't really have a clear answer.
Okay.
I think the best I can do for you is I can show you some DMs between me and Ludwig that took place a little bit ago. That is the closest I can get to understanding why he made this decision. And you know, you can see right here.
I got sperm inside my pants and also some shit again. Can you help me? Dude, I had so much fun playing Fortnite with you and the boys. Next week is gonna bang. I'm not playing in this one, so you won't be able to play. Wait, what do you mean? Can I be a captain? No, you can't be a captain, you stupid bald pussy. You aren't clouded enough, and nobody would ever pick you to be on their team. Fuck you.
Here. That
is this pre
the
the yard?
His reasoning. In the DM, and you know, I hopped on a call.
It might be pre the art. I'm not that. I like the art. I'm not well versed in the art. Nope.
Call right away. But it really didn't. He kind of just repeated the same thing.
Started a call that lasted 2 hours.
Over and over. So yeah, there it is. I just wanted to put it out there, let people know. And you know what? Don't go after Ludwig. Don't attack Ludwig. You know, don't start a hashtag that says Ludwig lied, people died. You know, all one word. Like, don't do that. That's, I think, pretty unacceptable. And don't like at him on social media, like at Ludwig Ahlgren on like Twitter, and say, you know, why did you abandon your friend? Why'd you abandon Slime and Nick? Why don't you care about your friends? Why did you do that?
He's farming.
Don't.
He's farming, chat.
Do that.
He's
or
farming.
Start a hashtag that says Ludwig lied, people died. Don't. That would just.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yo, why am I 6 hours into this? I was jamming to this at some point. Yeah, comedy is subjective, but come on.
We hope to do this for 6 or 7 years. Or 8.
R.I.P., man.
Hi, I'm Jack. This is Zenith, and this is the late, great Matthew Perry.
Are you similar to Chandler?
Yes, absolutely. I look a lot like him.
Now, comedy's subjective, I get that. You might hate Friends, you might hate Chandler. I can't tell you you're wrong.
Why am I laughing?
No,
Speaking with people since his past.
Listen, let me proudly say, I watched Friends with my whole family when I was in like elementary school. I know, not an appropriate show, but whatever. And I thought Chandler was sick as fuck. And I was like, guys, like, what friend am I like? And they were like, well, you're like Ross. And then I fucking cried. Not because they didn't say Chandler, but because they called me fucking Ross, man.
Passing, it seems like Perry's sense of humor was incredibly influential.
I'm not great at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?
He might have played this sarcastic, insecure, funny guy with a boring job.
Oh, he's a trans monster!
But generations of kids have grown up mimicking lines just like this.
Hey, you have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance.
Yeah, even the, like, could you be anymore, whatever.
Which seems weird, right? Chandler isn't your stereotypical role model, but Perry was so relatable and memorable that his comic personality became unforgettable. Like, here's one of his famous SNL skits.
It is Sarcasm 101. Be more gullible.
His timing, he had such a unique, like, comedic voice.
A lot of this can be attributed to the great writing. All 6 Friends actors were catapulted from relative obscurity to superstardom, mainly because the dialogue played to their strengths.
Okay, so I'm responsible, I'm organized, but hey,
like Courtney Cox can do neurotic.
Well, maybe I don't need your money. Wait, I said maybe!
Aniston can do ditzy. Schwimmer can
Sorry
do
about
awkward. LeBlanc can do dumb.
Is this friendship? I think so.
And Kudrow
I lost the tweezers, so
Could
they
do
can't
weird.
operate.
Well, she can do anything.
But we can prep the guy.
Nah, she can do weird, bro.
But I still think Matthew Perry was special. Despite being the youngest cast member at only 24 years old, he stood out as the funniest in a funny group of people, which the producers knew from the start.
We saw him and he was just off the charts. He was definitely our Chandler.
So today, in memory of the man, I wanted to highlight
I haven't
5
really had much to
things
say.
that I think made him special.
Well, the tough thing is she really wants to have sex with me.
Crazy bitch.
First is comic timing. Perry always knew when to deliver a line.
shut up, the camera adds 10 pounds.
So how many cameras are actually on you?
Or leave a pause.
Look what you brought. Very nice.
And what did you bring?
Or enter a room.
I took the quiz, and it turns out I do put career before men.
Or when to interrupt.
Come on!
Dude, he is kind of a
leaving a gap
timing
like this.
goat.
What does he want with her?
Well, I'm guessing he wants to do a little dance. You know, make a little love. Well, pretty much get down tonight.
Is much funnier than this.
What does he want with her?
Well, I'm guessing he wants to do a little dance. You know, make a little love. I'll pretty much get down tonight.
And Perry always seemed to nail it.
Hi. It's me.
2, improvising. If you want to be a good comedian, you've got to be fast on your feet. And Perry, he was lightning.
Sorry. It's not Chandler's show, it's Joey's show. Oh, don't give me that look.
Because sometimes, Ross...
This can be seen in the bloopers and interviews.
Nothing's happened there yet
Well,
behind
no,
the scenes?
there was stuff at the beginning. You know, there was a lot of flirtation, begging.
He a
I finally
free.
just said, you know, girls, back off. No way.
And talking with guest stars.
She just told me that it's been the greatest week of her entire life.
They did?
Stuck with me. Well, yeah, remember? Because
He just knew how to improvise. Knowing that his co-stars are actually laughing at a riff is one of the best things in the show.
You bastard!
3, his physicality. While not synonymous with Perry, he can
That's
do
good.
stuff like this, and this, and this. And while he wasn't on the level of someone like Robin Williams or Rowan Atkinson, Perry could play it subtle or put his whole body into selling a line, and I'll always appreciate his seemingly endless childlike energy. 4, how well he could bounce off others.
I got the part of George Gibbs in Our Town, and I had such a great time, and I realized it was the only thing in school that I really liked working hard at.
Like a lot of people in the sitcom world, Perry started as a stage actor and knew how to play off his cast.
I mean, I know when I have a line to say, I can take it to any of these 5 people and get a completely different reaction. I got her machine.
Her answering machine?
No, interestingly enough, her leaf blower picked up.
This became even funnier when other members of the cast started parodying his shtick.
Look at me! I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Well, the writers made
The
this
"could I
humor
be"
a
is a
self-referential
classic,
plot
Chad.
point.
Could I
report
be?
any later?
But as Megan Garber notes, it's Chandler's tragic comedy and willingness to highlight his flaws
And I used humor as a defense mechanism.
that make him the most relatable friend.
Who doesn't like me?
Self-aware, self-deprecating humor is often done tongue-in-cheek, but almost all of Perry's characters seem to use jokes as a shield.
My parents got divorced. That's when I started using humor as a defense mechanism.
And this blurred the lines between Chandler and Perry as a person.
They said, well, you know what, that'll be funny. We'll take advantage of that horrible thing in your own life and put it on national television for millions of people to see.
Therefore, unlike the other Friends characters who were larger than life and therefore protected from the sadness it can bring,
This is madness. It's madness, I tell you, for the love of God, Monica, don't do it!
Chandler
Was Chandler the soul? He was the soul of the show? Is that what... Did I just cut him off?
can bring.
This is madness. It's madness, I tell you, for the love of God, Monica, don't do it!
Chandler was open about his pain, which made his comedy stylings all the more accessible.
Man, if you tried something like that on my birthday, you'd be staring at the business end of a hissy fit.
5, feeding off the audience. One of the main reasons Perry's film career didn't exactly take off is there was no one there to watch.
The difficult part about doing it on the big screen is you don't have the immediate gratification. There's no audience there to really laugh. You know, if you're making the director and the producers laugh, they have kind of a vested interest, so you never know whether they're really laughing or not.
This gratification, this playful back and forth, is what energized Perry for 10 straight seasons. No matter what was happening in his personal life, when he walked through this door, he was Chandler.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Doing 10 seasons of television is pretty fucking grueling. That shit, like, that's a decade of your life that you're locked into doing the same job, very publicly facing. I guess you get paid a lot of money, which is the upside, but oof.
Chandler, he was on.
Dear God, this parachute is a knapsack.
Because he loved making an audience laugh more than anything. Like, here's his story about getting the part.
You know, I was with a friend of mine, so I, basically screamed, I got it. And then said, I'm way too big to hang out with you, and got out.
Obviously, it's really sad when someone you grew up watching passes away, especially if they made you laugh. It just seems so weird, so contradictory. Robin Williams was another one that really hurt. But currently, I'm halfway through my 100th Friends marathon, and I realized it shouldn't be so sad, because through the show, Matthew Perry gets to keep doing what he loved, making people laugh. And I'm sure that'll stay true for many years to come. So rest in peace, Chandler Bing. I'm sure you're somewhere making someone laugh.
To you, they're sad that you're leaving now.
Oh. We'll hang out afterwards.
Well, hang on, he'll take you out for coffee.
That was a great video. It was a great video. Squeak stopped streaming. Oh, he's on vacation. Yeah, him and Stanz were doing the God Gamer Gauntlet. I don't know if anybody's dialed the fuck in on that, but they were doing the God Gamer Gauntlet, and I was hype as fuck. And then they started playing League, and I was like, well, then they were playing Rocket League too, which I did watch, but I wasn't crazy about. Me personally. That's gonna be criminal. I'm not gonna watch. I can't watch the Hassan NMP stream. See if there's anything going on X.com. Agatha all along Bash. "30 minutes until Gagatha. On my way." Can I get some sort of fucking context? Very confused with that one. Hawaii trending in Pennsylvania for some reason. This is all true, but that has not... I don't know why it's trending in fucking PA. Just letting you know this isn't me. We know it is, Prezzo. No way, Clint! I was going to stream after I ate, but my Uber Eats driver's car broke down on the side of the road and it's been 3 hours. What do I do? Holy shit, man. I'm never ordering food again. Holy fuck. Ordering another Uber Eats driver to pick up the food from the broken down Uber Eats driver. Sorry, bro. Only here for the food. Good luck with being stranded or whatever. That's... No, that's Clint Proof of Life Stevens. That's quality. Dude, who's starving more, chat? Who's starving more, the Clint Stevens fans or the Frank Ocean fans? And what if I'm both? God, and Cardi fan too. Dude, I'm happy he's alive though. He does. Bro came back from the dead to make an Uber Eats joke, and now he's probably going to drop off the earth for another 6 months after this. Come back, Clint. Yeah, we do want Clint back. He's still with us, chat. I'm opening the champagne. Oh, go live. Classic. Clint with the easy flex. Yeah, I appreciate him. He's probably my favorite streamer just ever, I think. The way he went out. This happens to most of the streamers that I like. I was a big Witwix fan when I was like younger, and bro did the same shit. I think he's back now, but well, I'm happy Clint's not fucking dead. That's so crazy. Bro logged in. I don't know if he's on Twitter still, like liking stuff, or if he logged in just to respond to Lakari's tweet. He logged off the fucking alt. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. He's alive. He's fucking alive. I gotta go in the Clint Discord now. Oh, it won't let me do all that. So annoying. Just had to drop it. Yo, Block Civilization. Shout out Block Civilization. Well, that's an unexpected surprise. When I piss off the CIA and they just kill me rather than electrocuting my nip. At Hut. This is the guy. This is the big dog. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, this is the fucking big dog. At Hassan. Thank you for liking my post. I'll send you important election updates for North Carolina. Make sure you're ready to vote for Donald J. Trump by November 5th. Reply #stop to opt out. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So he found an old campaign post. If you liked an ad campaign post, sometimes they'll thank you and tag you in a hidden personal tweet. Interesting. Thank you, sir, for recognizing a real patriot. Oh. Hank Pecker stands rise up. Reply to this tweet, and I'll draw a low-quality version of your profile picture. This one's pretty fucking funny. Hey, they asked for it. Dude, Jimmy Carter on Hot Ones at 100 would be fucking wild. Top USA/Canada YouTube gaming streamers in September. Speed Ludwig. Dude, wait, I think I'm so tapped in on the parasocial nonsense that I definitely heard them mention this on the yard. This exact fucking tweet. Oh, and there's the Ludwig reply. 10 million. Only on 43 hours, man. 131 hours for 2.1, which is still fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, he's still doing great. But then Doc. Then fucking... Dude, why would he bring up islands? That's still a little too long. Might do a long-ass stream soon where I rank all of Lord's songs. 75 viewers max, but I reckon it'll be fun. I ain't watching that. What's your favorite color? Let's move on from the stupid fucking question. I can't read it. Oh yeah, this was crazy. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Asmongold revealed that he wanted to end his life at, well, he planned to, is what he says. He says, like, yeah, I was always just planning on, like, killing myself. But then he got distracted by Wrath of the Lich King and then forgot about it, and I guess now has to live with the consequences of treating his body like shit for 18 years and stuff. And he was, like, super poor, so didn't exactly have the best access to healthcare and whatnot anyway. Oh, yeah, so they're just finding the post, basically. Dude, what?
Girly, all the girls are girly, girly, all the girls are girly, girly, all the girly being electrocuted.
Bro, this is the Northern Lion fan that's unemployed. This is the one.
Once I give your girl the wrist face, there's no chance she's coming back. I hang with AJ and Big Justin. Bring up boom, you know it's on. We're like the three evolutions of Pokemon. You know me as
Dude, he did. He comes in, he spits like 5 bars, and then gets out. Topless makeout sesh with a horror movie on in the background would cure me right now. Me at the Cheesecake Factory on a Saturday. Dude, the Spooky Joker collection kind of goes crazy. Why did they stop cooking? He's cooking. He's still cooking. He didn't stop cooking. I got paid today. OMG, I'm buying an island Prezzo from 2016. Epstein. He's the vision is undefeated, man. Prezzo really is the guy who fucking learned how to post. I remember back in the day, Prezzo was just like, I think Clint Stevens' editor. I think. And now Prezzo's like pretty much established, I would say. He built himself a nice career. He has some crazy tweets that pop the fuck off every now and then. Wait, Phantom reveals his recent 14-pound weight loss. Good for Phantom. Just to clarify, Springfield's Haitian migrants have legal status. The rules were you guys weren't going to fact check. Leave my goat alone. Oh, man. We did a nice 3 hours today. I feel like that's probably all I can ask for. I could do maybe some Left 4 Dead. I could just save it for another day. I mean, 3 hours of stream. I think we call it here. It's been a fun one. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like. Come over and follow me at twitch.tv/LucasG. It would mean a lot. And come and check a stream. They're 6:30 to 10:30, or, you know, whenever I decide to stop, on Mondays and Wednesdays. So thank you so much. Have a great day.